welcome back to the final day, day 4 of the Achieve Your Dream Summit. Once again, I'm Rick Stewart, and I will be your host for all of these amazing interviews with even more extremely knowledgeable and experienced guest speakers who will stir up a lot of aha moments, giving you the right tools to positively affect your life and your business. Also, be sure to stick around for the final speaker, Coach Rick. That would be me. Now let's listen to Susan, today's first expert speaker. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Achieve Your Dream Summit, where I have the distinct privilege of interviewing some phenomenal people who are going to tell you secrets, experiences, give you wisdom from what they do, from who they are. And today, my guest is Susan Crossman. I'll tell you a little bit about her. Susan is a book coach and editor who helps coaches, energy workers, and innovators who write books that make a difference in their businesses and in their world through one-to-one and group programs that are profound, inspiring, and fun. I like the fun part. She believes a beautifully written book can be a powerful force for good in a world that is yearning for greater peace. Now, Susan, you know a little bit about me, and you know that my heart is helping people answer that all-important question, what were you born to do? And then I help them figure out what their destiny is and how to get there. Okay, so I would like to start with this aimed at you. Susan Crossman, what were you born to do?
Thank you for the question, Rick. I love that question. And, you know, I used to think that I was born to write. I spent most of my life believing that that was what I was here to do. I was that little girl that used to climb up into the apple tree in the backyard, and I'd have a tablet of paper with me and a pen or a pencil, and I'd scribble away for hours, just enjoying the act of writing. And I never really wanted to do anything else with my life. And I grew up to go into journalism right out of university. I worked in daily newspapers, which was an awful lot of fun. I thought I was in heaven because I got to make my living as a writer. And then I ended up, of course, that didn't pay too well. And I ended up going to work in government communications where I did more writing. And it was every day I got to write stuff. And in the government communications, it was speeches and press releases and briefing reports. And it was really different from journalism, but I still really loved it. And then I ended up working at a marketing agency as a copywriter. And oh my gosh, it got better. Like it wasn't that was the dream, you know, it really was. I got to, and people paid me to write. So it was really, really fun for me. And of course, though, as a writer, there was that nagging little desire to write a book. Oh, all along the way. I didn't want to just write for a living. I wanted to be an author. And somewhere along the line, I started my first book. My husband at the time turned to me and said, well, you've been talking about writing a book for a really long time. And I bet there are people in your audience that have had that feeling for a long time too. You know, that, yeah, you too, haha. Yep. So I wasn't the only one, you know, I really wanted to write a book. And my husband turned to me and he said, well, what's stopping you? A horrifying question. And what was stopping me was me. And so I started writing that first book, and ultimately it took 11 years. I stopped and started for a long time. And I'm a writer. I was a professional writer. But writing a book was just so hard for me. But it was kind of what I thought I was born to do too. And so ultimately my husband ended up with cancer and he passed away. Yeah, it was terrible. We had 2 little kids. We had 5 kids together altogether, but 2 of them were very young. And it was really hard. And a lot of things came out of that. One of which was, oh my gosh, we can die. Like it hadn't occurred to me. I was in my 40s at the time, but death was not something I had to do too much with at that point. And but I really didn't want to die without knowing if I could finish my book and become a published author. So, you know, like I started supporting my kids, I activated my business, my current business. I started writing, online writing for businesses, and got really busy, finished the book, and I did become an author, a published author. And that was the first of 5 books so far that I've written. But that's what I thought I was born to do, was to write. But
what
in
was the
recent
title
years,
of your first book? What was the
oh,
title?
the first one was a novel, and it was called Shades of Teal. And it was a woman's experience of a perceptively abusive relationship, and how that transpired, and how she got out of it, how she became stronger through it. So it was, I did some volunteer work way back when for a women's shelter. And it was really upsetting to me that these amazing women were in the shelter with their kids, some of them, and in fear of their lives. Like, how is that possible in our world? And actually, the statistics in Canada, and I'm sorry I don't have the American statistics at hand, but one woman is murdered by her domestic partner every 5 days in this country.
Good grief.
So it's a serious social issue, and that's really part of my motivation, was to understand it better myself, but also to tell the world, hey guys, this isn't okay, and we need to maybe make some changes here. And so that's what that book was about. And that was followed by a collection of short stories. My publisher came to me and said, okay, great, book 1 out of the way, let's get going on the next one. And of course, I had no intention of writing a second book.
Of course not.
But I had a signed contract that said I would do 4 books for this publisher. So that really kickstarted my authoring career. But along the way, I got some coaching credentials. I'd been editing forever, of course, by this point, and started editing other people's books and helping other people write their books. And now my answer to your question, to go back to that question, what was I born to do? I really do believe now that I was born to help other people make the world a better place through really well-written, high-quality books, helping them write the books that will serve their readers in amazing and beautiful ways. So that's what I'm here to do.
I have a side question for you.
Sure.
Because you'd actually know what you were born to do, I try to get my clients, my students, if you will, to understand that once they really understand what they were born to do and what to do to get there, that it's one of the most freeing, if not the most freeing experience in their lives. How does it affect you? No, I mean, you look like you've got the world by the tail, and you probably do. Oh yeah. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about that, about what it feels like to know what you were born to do and actually be doing that. Achieve your dream. Remember, that's the title of the summit.
It's freeing. It's exciting. It's joyful. I don't work a day in my life. I work very hard. I put in 10, 12-hour days quite often. I have a busy business. Mm-hmm. I have staff. Like I've got lots going on, and it's joyful for me. I mean, how lucky am I that I get to do exactly what I love to do? Now, I don't like the financial part, like running a business. There are parts of it I don't like, the bookkeeping.
Boo-hiss, boo-hiss.
Yeah, it's not my fun place. However, it's mine, and it's I don't.
Good point.
I know, like, it's okay. You take the lemons with the lemonade,
Sure.
But it's exciting. It's like, it's a place of complete possibility is what my life is about. I took a month in late summer, and I went to the UK for a month and worked there and visited family. My daughter lives there. My new grandson is there. But because I do what I do, and I'm the captain of my own ship, I can do that. I can call my shots. Now, running a business, we all kind of think that's the dream, and that's the answer to all possible problems, is to be your own boss. And it is and it isn't. The business can be challenging to run a business. That's a whole skill set on itself. Mm-hmm. But when I look at my day-to-day activities, what I immerse myself in during the day is just complete joy. And the people that I work with are changing the world. And it is so humbling to work with people who are really sincerely wanting to make our world a better place. It's just, gosh, how can we be part of a team? And so there's that thrill that goes with it too, that of believing that in me just showing up and being me and doing my joy and being joyful and playing with writing books with other people, I'm actually making a huge difference in other people's lives, not just my clients, but the people they're here to serve. So it's amazing. I'm just so grateful that I followed my dream.
Yeah, and you're living it out. I love that. Now,
Yeah.
you did answer my second question. What did you do to get there? You wrote the book. Took you 11 years, but you wrote the book. And
well, and I didn't give up. Like, I think that's the other
yeah.
thing, you know, like we
Huge.
it's easy to give up on a dream, because you certainly, like a project like a book, for example, and I'm sure people in your audience, they have other projects that we could compare to writing a book. Like, that's not something that happens overnight. No. And there are a lot of obstacles that show up, and there's a lot of mind trash that shows up. And so I think we can all be forgiven for having those days when it doesn't look like it's showing up the right way, you know, like it's not working. So it can be very discouraging, but don't give up on the dream. You know, that's part of the lesson that I've really learned, is just don't give up on yourself.
Well, I like to think big. I'm one of those people, I like to think about 40 different things a day. And if one of them comes to pass, I'm a happy camper. Well, good. I could, in a perfect world, if I had a student who didn't know what they were born to do, and they went through Strategy for Destiny and they figured out what they were born to do, and they brought their destiny in their hands to you, and you were able to help them flesh out what's in their heart and what's in their brains in the form of a book, because storytelling is everything. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be cool. Yeah.
That would be so cool. And you know, it's the stories we tell ourselves that actually make the difference in whether we fulfill on that destiny or not. You know, our own stories are really powerful. Like, you know, when we say to ourselves, yeah, I don't think I can do it. Probably I can't do that. That's one kind of story. But the flip side of that story is, well, what if I can? What if I can do this?
Yeah.
What else is possible? So it's
real
very
life
exciting.
stories, real life stories. But my life, I mean, my business coach, Cindy Holbrook, is writing her memoirs, and it's all about dark family secrets. My goodness, I mean, it's going to be a movie. I know it will. It will, Cindy. Yes, it will. So, all right. So that was, and how does your business fit into your dream? Have we gotten to that yet? I don't think we've gotten to that yet.
Oh, well, yeah, my business has evolved. Thank you for the question. Yeah, when my husband passed away and I had these young kids and I had to feed us somehow, you know, there was enough insurance money to kind of turn a corner, but and by the way, I really am a big fan of life insurance. I never thought that I would need life insurance. And it was so unexpected. My husband was 49, I think, when he passed away, 48 or 49. Yeah, no one expects that. No. And so, you know, there was enough to at least turn a corner. But then I had kids to support. And then I had to figure out, okay, how does my business fit in with my parenting? You know, as a widowed parent, you don't have that irritating ex-spouse to come and collect the kids every other weekend. You know, you're it 24/7. So in terms of running a business, then, you know, you're on homework duty and going to the doctor and all those things that go along with raising kids and running a business. It's been very challenging for me to figure out how that could work. So initially, I was really pretty traumatized by my change in status in life. And can I just say something too? I want to say a little word about the future, because we go through life planning our future. And then when the future doesn't pan out, you've got to shift gears. And so when I was thinking that I was going to have 100 years to write my book, and the future changed, then it was really important for me to be able to shift those gears. And so when I needed to start a business, what I've been mindful of in creating my business is that it needs to be flexible too. And so my business very much in the early days was built around accommodating my family, accommodating my kids. They had a really tough time. Their dad died, and I was not the nice mummy for a long time after that happened. I was pretty much a mess and very stressed, and I wasn't the nice mummy, but I am now. I hope they think that. But building the business, I wasn't aware of building a business to serve a dream. My dream, like my big dream of serving the planet with peace on Earth, like it was really, okay, I got to make money, and I have to do it in a way that I can support my children. So at that level, the dream was, okay, I just have to support my kids. And as I became more comfortable and confident in what I had to offer and what I was doing in the world, and as I wrote more books and I got more credentials, and it evolved, my dream evolved. And so my business evolved.
That's important. That's important to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You find that too, that's
Oh, yes. So yeah,
thing?
it always evolves.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. I wasn't expecting that. We need to keep upping our dreams as we need to keep upping our game, I guess.
And not, I have found over 35 years of doing this, of working with people one-to-one. The course is new for me, but working with people one-to-one, been doing it for decades. And so many have told me that they don't know what their dream is. But when I dig, let's say that they're in their 30s or their 40s, when I dig a little deeper, they did have a dream. They did have a dream, but then that horrible word, reality, it's a terrible word. Reality kicked in, and it's like, well, I have to have a job that has good benefits and supports, whatever mouths I have to feed, even if it's just my own. And I'm just going to forget about it. And nobody's encouraging me. Well, it sounds like you encouraged yourself. You encouraged yourself and didn't give up. And that is so admirable, because there are hundreds of people that I've coached or counseled, whatever you want to call it, who they gave up. They gave up fairly early in life and thought that reality was going to be their reality. But their concept of reality was very defeatist and very negative. It doesn't sound like you allowed that.
I didn't have time. I didn't have time to give up. I knew what I wanted. I think that's it. I had a very clear vision for what I wanted my life to look like. It sure didn't look like that for a long time.
Way ahead of most people. You are way ahead.
I guess too, Rick, for a while there, I was so unhappy. There had to be something more to life than this. I just wasn't going to settle for being unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm not made that way anyway. And maybe that's it. And you know what? It would have been great to have benefits, but being self-employed, I've never had benefits and I think a lot of our society is built on these external structures of what it's supposed to look like. Yes. You're supposed to work a 40-hour week, maybe 45. You're supposed to get an hour lunch break. You're supposed to have benefits. You're supposed to get 3 weeks off a year. All the stat holidays. You're supposed to get. I haven't had a stat holiday off in who knows how long. However, I get to have the best work in the world. Like I get to work with amazing people who are writing books and making a difference in the world, and it's fun. So if you can give away your concept of what it's supposed to look like and exchange that for what the possibilities for you are, then I think that's where you're ahead of the game. Like I think if you give up with that, how many letters in reality, that 5 or 6 letter word reality, if you could give that reality away and give it a new definition of
7 letters.
7 letters. Thank you. You'd be good at Scrabble.
I am.
Yeah, I bet you would be.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, it's possible. It's there. You might have to become uncomfortable to get to it.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind that we become uncomfortable. And I tell people, I serve a God who didn't come to this earth to make people comfortable. No, in fact, a lot of times when we are meant to, when the plan, there's always a plan. There's always a plan for every single life on this planet.
Yeah.
And we need to discover it. And that's what I was born to do, to help people discover that. And when they discover what they were born to do, then everything starts to fall into place. But it doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to quote a scripture: no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Okay, but that doesn't mean that weapons aren't formed against me, does it? No, they're still formed against me. There are still rotten people out there who will attack Susan, who will attack Rick, attack our kids, and attack our way of life, attack our hearts and our minds. And we're going, oh God, what's going on? We're growing up. We're maturing. We're getting good at being in battle, because that's what this is. That's what this is. But the thing is, we win. We win when we really put our minds to it. You are a shining example of just winning. And I admire that. I really do.
Okay, but I haven't done it on my own. And
No.
I think I have been lovingly facilitated by my God. My higher power has always been by my side.
Yes.
And
whether we want to acknowledge him or not, which is really dumb.
The death of my husband and having 2 little kids to look after, where was God then? I was asking. And yet I look at that whole passage in my life and go, oh, I see. I would not be doing what I'm doing now and serving the world in the way that I do if that hadn't happened. And so that was a facilitation in a way, a very painful one. But, it did open my life into new areas. Not that I ever wanted that to happen or wished for it to happen. It's just, okay, that happened. Now, change trajectory. Mm-hmm. And for your listeners today, too, the people listening to the Telesummit here, there will have been lots of bad things that have happened to you. And I invite you to look at how that has opened up possibilities for you that you didn't see before. Painful and traumatic as all of that is, when we get to the other side of it, there is always a silver lining.
And it's not that God wants anything bad to happen to you. It's just that we're in a fallen world, and bad things happen to good people, and we grow through them. Now, I want to ask you your title, for we have gone this way and that way and that way and that way. Your title for your summit talk, shall we say? I didn't write that down. So what is it again? And can you start in on that?
Sure. Writing books to build bridges.
Great title.
Is my title. Yes, I do believe that a book is just a phenomenal bridge builder. As authors, we are building bridges, but the books themselves are bridges. And I look at kind of 3 bridges that a book is building in our worlds as authors, would-be authors. And the first one is to deeper dimensions of who we are, because in the process of writing a book, we really do need to dig deep. I'm not a write a book in a weekend kind of a person. Like there's a place for that, or write a book in a month or whatever. Like that serves a purpose, I'm sure. But people who work with me are looking to pass along important messages. And in writing that book, we have to look inside ourselves and make connections to things that have happened in our lives, like some of those bad things, perceptibly bad things that have happened. How has that served us? So that first bridge is into deeper dimensions of who we are. And then the second bridge is, of course, to our readers, that we are bridging to our readers with our book, bridging to their model of the world, their understanding. We're connecting on that bridge of how I am in the world and how I conduct my life and how you conduct your life. And what are the possibilities for you that you might not have known were out there that I can help you see? And so that's the second bridge that we build. And then the third bridge is another exciting bridge. And that third bridge is to our future selves. And who am I in 5 years? And in writing my book today, whichever book that is, I am actually sowing the seeds for a harvest in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And if I don't write that book, that harvest cannot be reaped. And so the books that we have, whether it's being on stages, bigger stages, better stages, more stages, whatever it is for you, being the author of a really good book is an entree into a whole other world for you. And so in writing that book, we're bridging to that future that we weren't going to get until we wrote the book. And talk about divine assistance with all of that, and a plan for our lives. I work with people who understand there is a higher purpose for their lives on this planet, and that they come to me because that book is a piece of the puzzle for them serving in the way that they're here to serve. So it's really interesting.
Wow. Well, there's always a higher purpose, whether people want to admit it or not, or
sure
they just get angry about life and all of that. But there's a higher purpose. And when you take somebody and can shape their thoughts into, I was going to say a typewriter, that really dates me, doesn't it?
I had one too.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I was really happy when IBM came out with that big typewriter where you could plug in the whiteout. You could plug that in.
The IBM Selectric.
Oh
yes,
my
the backspace.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was it.
That helped me get through college.
Yeah, I remember I had one of those too. It was like a marvel of modern technology.
Wow. Yes, it was. Until you ran out of the whiteout.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah. So kids don't know about typewriters. They don't know about whiteout. They don't know about driving a stick shift, and they don't know how to write cursive. Yeah.
True. They're all those things are disappearing.
They are,
or have already disappeared. No,
we're not disappearing. And
let's keep it alive, baby.
Yeah. And I would say to our viewers, to our audience who are in, say, your 20s or your 30s, reach out to Susan. I'll bet you $1 to a donut that she's willing to get on a phone call with you. I haven't asked her about this, and find out what it is that's eating you up. And I'll tell you this, that when people have come to me, when I was on staff at the megachurch for many years, when I was there, people would come to me with complaints. And they would say, this doesn't work, and this doesn't work, and this needs to be fixed, and this needs to be fixed. And I would say, okay, well then fix it. It's part of the plan. Part of your plan is to take care of things, to make things better, to serve people. And when you can make it better, make it better. And it's, in other words, quit complaining and get busy. Yeah. And there's a lot of good has come out of that over the years. So.
Complaining doesn't do a thing. Complaining fixes nothing.
Now tell us about, I know you have a gift for our viewers, our audience. That's always a fun part. Please explain it.
I would love to do that. Thank you very much. I'm giving a big gift.
Wow.
Actually, because it's you, Rick, and because I love what you're doing. And I really support what you're doing. I am offering everyone in your audience, in our audience today, a chance to take my 6-week Kickstart book writing formula program for free. And that normally I sell that for $1,000. So it's a big gift, but it helps people start writing a book. My market research showed that one of the biggest challenges people have when they want to write a book is they have no clue how to start.
Right.
And so this 6-week program is all about getting started. And so we look at your vision, we look at your why, we look at what's that vision for you as an author, we look at structure. How do you structure a book? We go deep dive into who is your audience and what's your message. We deal with time. Nobody has time to write a book. Ask a widowed mother of 3 kids, 2 of them still at home, who has a disabled elderly mother in her life and is running a business, how they have time to write a book. Oh, I've got some answers for you. So we look at, we don't get time to write a book, we create time to write a book. So that's a whole module on itself. And then we talk about editing, publishing, and marketing your book. So it's a very, very robust program. There is homework, but I'm making that available for free to your audience. do you need information on how to access that? Do you need me to go over that?
We'll have
You've
it.
got that.
We'll have
Okay.
it for
Yeah.
our audience. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
We'll get that printed up. And I do have, that is absolutely fabulous. And I'm going to go through it.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna
I'd
go through
love
this.
to have you.
Well, I'll tell you, I haven't done anything with my book. It's an ebook. I haven't done anything with the physical book. I have the ebook, the audio book, and the video lessons. Okay. And I know I need to do something with the book. Maybe I need a nonprofit or something like that so I can give it away. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
You've really got my attention. And my second book. We'll work on that one too.
Awesome.
So I do have, this is the optional question, okay? Because we're running a little bit low on time here. When it comes to living your best life, what advice do you, Susan Crossman, have for our viewers, our audience? Your best life.
Your best life. Oh, make friends. Yeah, that's a really good one. I would say make friends with being uncomfortable. We kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier. Embrace being uncomfortable. I've been a lot uncomfortable. And now whenever I get uncomfortable, I go, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen now. Because I recognize that part of being uncomfortable is actually almost like birthing pains, you know,
it's
like
growing.
It's growing pains. Yeah, it's part of my evolution is, okay, if I'm uncomfortable, it's something shifting. And that's something to get really excited about. And especially writing a book is a really uncomfortable experience for a lot of people. And, you know, it's unfamiliar because they've never done it before. And so it's uncomfortable because, especially with my clients, they are used to being really good at a lot of things. And then they sit down to write a book and they've never done it before. So they don't have a skill set in place to support them. They don't have a neural network in place to support them. And they get kind of upset because they're not really great at this. And so it's kind of, you know, it's uncomfortable. I guess that's really the only word. And so we need to get beyond that and get some support. Obviously, always helps, but it's getting beyond that uncomfortable place to the place of competency, because on the other side of unfamiliar and uncomfortable is competency. If we embrace the uncomfortable, if we can be uncomfortable long enough to get some skills, get some comfort around what we're doing, learn what we need to do, get some assistance, then we can start ticking along like nobody's business. So that's what I would say. Achieving our dreams really requires us to shift our concept of who we are, who we think we are. And that's about being uncomfortable with whatever it is that we're going through right now. And it's a really exciting thing. If you can master being uncomfortable, then you've got the keys to the kingdom as far as I'm concerned.
Well, when I want to see when people come to me and they finally are so elated that they've discovered what their destiny is. They've gone through their action plan and they know that they know that they know. And then what if I were to mention you? What if I were to say, okay, does this sound like a book to you? Well, yeah. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to my friend, Susan Crossman. Would that make sense? I think that would make an awful lot of sense. Yeah, it would be one high, another high. It would be. It would. Yeah.
It really would. Oh gosh. And then your clients get to inspire more people with their story.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Oh, wow. Well, this has been absolutely. I've been using absolutely way too much. My kids would strike me dead. Okay. Because I'm the grammar police guy.
Yay! Every family needs one of those.
Yes, they
so glad to hear that.
My son is following in my shoes. Yes, so we have our pet peeves, but I won't go into that. Anyway, your ability to overcome, your ability to take what has been thrown at you, what has splattered all over your face, and make it into something that works. And this, okay. You have, which I strive for this when I'm counseling and when I'm coaching, is to see the twinkle in the eye. It's more than a smile. It's the twinkle in the eye that I've got this. I've got this. This is me. This is what I was born to do. And it's all over you, young lady. Just
Oh,
all
good.
over
I'm so
you.
glad.
I'm just
Yes.
delighted that you allowed this interview. And I know that we're going to affect a lot of people in very positive ways. So until we talk again, let's sign off. Thank you again. And thank all of you for listening. We will have Susan's extremely generous gift posted. We'll have other information on her. So just think about the possibilities. Think about the possibilities of what you were born to do and telling other people about it. Wouldn't that be fun? All right. Until next time. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Coach Rick here, and welcome once again to the Achieve Your Dream Summit. Right now, we have a really interesting fellow from up in Canada. His name is Chris Smith, and he and his wife, Susie, have an ongoing program called Career Niche. You might see it there in the background, or Career Niche, whichever you want to say. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mr. Chris here, and then I'm going to turn things over to him. Chris has been in the recruitment and career transition field since 1996 and launched his first staffing firm in 1999 and has 25 years experience in the field. In September of 2004, ExecuSource partnered as a referral partner of the newly founded Career Niche, Inc. Career Niche is a customized career transition company with services including job search coaching, career coaching, persona branding, and outplacement. Career Niche maintains a strong commitment to providing the highest quality career and job search coaching. This guy knows what he's doing. All righty, Mr. Chris, I'm going to ask you the question that is always on my mind and on my heart. It's the name of what I do, Strategy for Destiny. It asks the question, what were you born to do? So I'm asking you, sir, what were you, Chris Smith, born to do?
Well, I really took a while to get to what I was born to do, but after working on a psychology degree and going through some self-exploration and trying different jobs, I realized that I really love being a person that helps others grow, in essence. You think the psychology would have told me that sooner, but I tried a few things first. And so a Career Niche is the company, and it's really the essence of an idea, of a concept of helping people find their niche and helping people build an ecosystem or a niche. And I really, for myself, it took me some exploration, and some people call that a career portfolio, where you try different jobs to find out what you like. And I think trying to figure out what makes people tick, what makes them happy, and then helping them succeed, which the company has really been rebranded to look at as the first career marketing agency. So our programs really focus on helping people market themselves, as there's a big change in what's going on with the mix between being in your own business and then bouncing back to getting a career, and yet having to market yourself more. Whereas before, you went someplace for 40 years and you got your gold watch and you retired nicely. Now you may be changing jobs all the time. So I really thought, seeing that was beginning to happen. Of course, there was a famous book out there, The World is Flat, which you may know of, that really discussed all these changes. That's what kind of steered me more towards the direction of the outplacement. Although I loved the staffing part of it, and I studied HR in business school after my psychology degree and these sorts of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, when we have talked before in setting this all up and everything, I do definitely see a glint in your eye when you talk about helping other people to work through what you just outlined. Is very complicated. It's very complicated. And I mean, I use this example a lot in that if you need your appendix out, you don't go to YouTube and figure out how to take out your own appendix. That would be really stupid. No, you hire somebody who knows what they're doing. Not your weekend appendectomy, but the doctor who does 5 or 6 of them a day, the surgeon. Okay, so
Sure.
people need to go to you to find out what. In fact, they can come to me first. They can find out what's
Yeah.
in here, get that
Yeah.
up here, get it here, come to you and say, okay, this is my destiny in hand. This is my destiny. Now, what can we do career-wise? Because they're going to save by coming to you, they're going to save possibly years of heartache or years of never ever getting the job done. And I
Sure.
know from 35 years of experience that leads to tons and tons of regret. And
Sure.
I hate to see that happen. So, okay, you've probably answered the second question that I like to ask, which is, what did you do to get there? What did you do to make all of this happen? Do you
Well,
want to expand
actually,
more on that?
yeah, I'll expand on that because it's really interesting. I enjoy the recruitment field. I enjoy helping people find their niche and helping them land in what they love and have a passion for, and sometimes just helping them move from where they are to a much better situation, as many quote unquote headhunters do, right?
Mhm.
But there is a downside to it. There's a dark cloud that lurks amongst
Ooh.
headhunters, and that's we can only place one out of every 200 applicants. Now imagine that you're working with these people, their expectations, they've got some possibilities there, but you can't always judge the perfect personality fit with the hiring authority. So when that works out, well, there's at least a dozen people that you may be shortlisted that are very disappointed. So part of what we moved on to, or I did, and then started the career niche business from my staffing business over to this business, was to help people really prepare to land that job better, because so many we were just seeing so many people come into the interviews, they weren't prepared, they're used to just
Mm.
winging it, and then they didn't really know how to market themselves, they didn't do any type of presentation or dog and pony show, as we say, and they didn't have their numbers or their behavioral answers prepared for the interview. And that's a shame because they're very talented, they often very good at what they do for a living, but they don't often prepare for the interviews, and they don't often prepare for the job search. So that transition over to helping the 199 people that didn't get the job was kind of more in line with what I wanted. Now I still do the headhunting, I do retained search, I place right up to the VP level, and I enjoy that, but it's much more rewarding when I can help people transition to new jobs by helping them with coaching, with tactical, with marketing themselves, and so forth.
I just can't stress enough how incredibly important it is if you're going after a new position, a new career, moving up in your career, and you want to convince somebody to either hire you or to fund you or whatever it is, they've got to have their ducks in a row. And
Sure.
and so far, everything you've said needs your help. Everything that you've said about people not being this, not doing this, not being prepared, all of that, it just makes me shake my head and just say, scream into this screen, you need Chris. You need Chris to show you, to take your hand and tell you and show you what to do so that you have confidence. If you have confidence in what you do, you better have confidence in how to land that position, that job.
Right.
I'm
So
talking too much, but I'm
no, you're doing
I'm
it. You actually,
I'm
I'm
passionate about
loving
what
it.
you
You're
do.
speaking my language.
Yes, absolutely.
So I mean, what we really have come across is people need a structure or a system to understand how do they build that.
Yes.
How do they build that? And so we came up with the Dream Career Branding System, with the acronym dancing. Start dancing to the beat of your brand, because the dancing are the 7 core elements of your personal brand. And we really do a deep dive with individuals to help them. That's a forthcoming course that we'll have out in January. But we really do a deep dive to help them understand their innate strengths and those things that they don't even know are their strengths, and how to see those blind spots. So when they go into an interview, they can talk about their strengths in a meaningful way, and not the same cliche, well, I'm good at MS Office or this and that, but from a meaningful way, say, maybe I'm great at envisioning the future. That's one of the strengths that many people have, and we use different systems and assessments for those processes for them to understand what to present.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's kind of funny when people will say, "Well, I can't afford to do that," when the comeback is, you can't afford not to.
You can't afford
No,
not
and
to.
and I know that you're
Yeah.
not charging an arm and a leg. I am surprised at how reasonable your services are. And for you out there, when we get toward the end, you're going to be telling our people about some of the stuff that you're giving away
Yeah.
to make sure that people can be helped, and that you're the guy to help them. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, people have been through a rough couple of years with COVID and financials, and we take care of even plants when they're closing and things that's been going on, and so that's part of our business. And you hate to see what happens to families, what happens to their finances, how far they get set back, and sometimes illnesses. So we want to prevent that. We want to prevent that. Now, we want to be there. We often say to the companies, by the way, we're going to take them from your family to our family, so we're going to take care of them. That's important.
That's
Because we're a family-run business. We've got four family members involved, and multiple others that are on contract. But it's just a wonderful thing if you can help people through these times, and then they won't forget you as they go through their career, and they'll see that what we're proposing to them with a personal brand, what we call the sub niche called a career brand.
Okay.
So it's very focused on their career, how that will really help them. And there's little nuances that I hear as I do the headhunting, I do the placement on perm. You hear every week from these employers that, oh, I can't believe this person didn't know to do this for me. The boss will say this.
Yeah.
They didn't know I needed this. If you want a job, you got to solve the boss's problems. That's the best way to get a job.
Very
right?
good.
And you talk to Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks. That's one of his favorite lines. You want to work with me, show me how you're going to take headaches away from my life. Are you going to clear something off my desk? And so, that's all about the nuances we discuss and how people prepare. And often in headhunting, you have to really assess for that. And from the coaching perspective, therefore, I have to prepare people. And that's what we're going to help and offer them with some of these wonderful freebies. I think that will
they're wonderful.
Change their lives.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm all about, and you're all about. Now tell me, the third question that I love to ask, how does your business fit into your dream?
It's a great question. I'll tell you one thing, that when you run your business, knowing my personality type as an ENFP, which means I'm extroverted. I love talking to people. I love working with people. The N means I love developing programs for people to help change their lives. The F is feeling and empathy and loving to get into understanding how I can best, because I really see myself in service to others in my life. But the P is a problem. The P is creative, but it's not very organized. The P, people having that P at the end means I'm almost, I should be checked for ADHD sometimes because I bounce around a lot. So, but thank goodness my wife is the opposite. She's an ISTJ, Myers-Briggs MBTI score, which means introverted, but she's practical. She's a thinker. And the J at the end is the opposite of the P. She's organized. And she organizes everything, and she keeps the ship floating. So I think starting my business, I misperceived my ability to project manage things as well as I thought I could. So there's always things about a business you have to know what your strengths are. And so I think knowing that my dream was to help others, I've come from an entrepreneurial family, at least my mother, she was, And so that kind of got that, you get that bug when you're young, junior achievements and so forth. So I saw that as a way of really setting my own destiny, as you would say, I guess. And in my way, it's my way of giving to the world, making an impact. And I mean, if I didn't think I could do it better by running my business, I wouldn't do it. I'd go work for somebody, which is fine too. It's a good thing. But I like the freedom of working for the business, and I like the freedom of being able to help people find their dreams.
Well,
especially with their brands, right?
Absolutely. Now you were saying something about an acronym. Was it
Sure
or something like that? What was that?
The career, our dream career system follows 7 core principles here and 7 core elements, and that starts with the dancing acronym. Start dancing to the beat of your brand is our motto, where you have to take a look at what is your dream, what do you see as your life mission, your purpose, and that's where you would come in. In many ways, and help people find that and define that better.
I got goosebumps just hearing you say that.
And we really, well, I mean, it's true. People need to take and Richard Bowles, What Color Is Your Parachute, started a lot of this introspection out back 30-40 years ago. I think it's still 30 million of those books.
You have to do it.
Right. And if you don't, well, you risk not being satisfied. And there's 2 ways of looking at that. It's, I guess you would say, some people have innate talents. That's our process of looking at things. And then we move them on to the audience. That's the A in dancing. And what is the employer type you want to work for? What are the influencers you should be connecting with? Who are the people that you should make in your network? Because you all need a network. No person's an island, right?
Right.
You have to, we're all connected in them. If you want your career to be successful, you have to be connected. Novelty. That's novelty is your uniqueness. What's the novel part of you? What are those? And we have an assets acronym that stands for a lot of details that we look at right in through your talents to your strengths that you build into skills. And then, what are those experience and credentials that build into your brand? Then we go over to C, competition. You have to, nothing lives in a vacuum, and there's no career that lives in a vacuum. You all have competitors in the company, in the workforce, if you're doing a job search, but it's not all competition. Who can you be in collaboration with? Not everything. Sometimes it takes a team of people banding together to help each other, and that's a good thing. Bring somebody else and often companies will pay you for a referral fee if you bring somebody in to the business. The identity of your brand. That's how you talk, how you react to things, how you listen well or not. These are the things we kind of do a deep dive with others to kind of find out where their SWOT analysis, what are their strengths, their weaknesses, where can we improve them for their career. And then your niche. Have you built a niche? That's really finding your career niche. Here's where I want to specialize. Here's where I think I need to build my own niche system. And that's where we come up with our dancing brand, our dream career brand system. You have to build your own thought leadership, right? And then grow is the G. You've got to grow your reputation. That's your brand. How are you going to do it? Well, as you see on the side, the First Career Marketing Agency.
First. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We want you to market yourself.
Well, yeah, right. Because
that's
you're the
process.
One, you can help get them to the interview fully armed. I mean, they got a tank, they've got an F-16 or whatever those jets are, and they're just coming in and dive bombing that recruiter person and or that VP in charge of hiring people, and they're armed to the teeth, and you get them there. But you're right. They need to know what their dream is. They need to know what their destiny is. And then they need to be able to market themselves because you're not done with them and they're not done with you. They're gonna continue to learn from you, I'm sure. And you're gonna continue to evolve and all of that and be able to by the time you have as much gray hair as I have, you're gonna be a wise old dude. You know that?
I'm getting there quick.
You got a little bit.
I got a little bit started. You know, you look at Muhammad Ali, you look at, well, I'm not a great fan of Mike Tyson from his personal life, but from his skill set, he was an amazing fighter. They all have a coach in their corner. Everybody has a coach. And I think if you want to optimize the stakes, life goes quick, but it can be so sub-optimized for you, your life, if you don't work with coaches. And, you know, in a day that would maybe called a mentor. And we tell people seek out mentors when they go to work, somebody that can help them through that, the intricacies of that organization.
Sure.
And they often have the best success, but you need a coach to help you with all of the nuances you maybe don't know. And us having, you know, some of the staffing knowledge helps. And staffing knowledge right up to a VP director level tells you what they don't like and what they do like, because people are often surprised how they'll be judged and how harshly they can be judged, excuse me, with little mistakes here and there. So that's part of what you get from a coach. You get some of the insider knowledge, and you also get some an objective soundboard to throw things off of for your career. But then you're building a brand, you have a system. The dancing career brand model is a system. It's building that dream tactically as well as strategically. And then the marketing springs forth after your brand positioning occurs. And then you have to take that idea of what is my brand? What do I stand for? Why am I different and unique? And you got to market yourself to the world in so many different ways. And nobody really sees it that way. It's not much different from being your own consultant business or coach business. You really have to market yourself.
Wow. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write you a theme song that has to do with dancing. Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I've got mine for Strategy for Destiny coming out. My son and I are producing it, and I've written lots of songs for companies and people. So
that's right. You got that great
dancing in there. That's
background.
easy. That's easy with dancing. Yeah, that's better than trying to make a lyric out of career niche. You know, that's a little.
Yeah, career niche is a tough one.
Little tough. Well, yeah. I know. Boy, do I ever know that you have some incredible gifts. Not only the freebies, but you've got a premium gift that's going to blow your minds, and it's just amazing when people, you're giving away a lot, and I'm just going to let you go because I'll let you.
Well, like I said, I'm giving away a lot because that's really the foundation of who you are, and I think we're in your world right now, so we have to kind of show who we are as well, which is to give a lot. We don't want to see the negatives that can happen in life due to not finding your great career, not building your career properly, not being able to navigate if you're laid off or terminated, and terminated for cause or without cause. You still need to figure these things out. So we're going to give the ebook, our Career Niche Advantage System. That's the $20 value. We'll give that out to people, and then we're going to give the interview secrets course. And that is a $99 value, at least. I mean, you go to Udemy, they're charging $200. Our LMS is that type of quality. So you're going to get, there's some gamification, there's some testing, because you often think you know how to answer a certain question. And then you do the tests and it's, oh, geez, I didn't know this as well as I thought. So we had one of the best learning architects from Laureate, and she's worked with Walden University and higher colleges of technology in Dubai, developed this, and she's going to be working with us on more courses in the future. And then you want me to give the big surprise?
Okay. Here it is.
So we're going to give you the same 7-week ultimate job search formula course, which is training on a weekly basis for 7 weeks with Q&A at the end. We're going to give that pro bono, free, for all of you out there that need it. I mean, it's just that's amazing. It's a hard time, and it's hard to figure out what we're going to do. I know people want to work remotely, and but there's a lot of trepidation, especially with the Omicron variant coming along, and I think people need some good news. So that's the good news. We're going to give you that, and of course, you'll have 7 weeks of helping you out if you are in a job change, if you are in a job search. Work with Rick and myself, and we'll get you there. So that's an amazing course. And by the way, that's used by the Fortune 1000 companies that subscribe to our service for their employees. That's the same course that you're going to get your customers
Yeah, yeah.
and viewers.
Woo! That
So
is
hopefully,
yeah, yeah. Wow. I mean,
yeah,
and all you have to do to get that course for free. Oh my goodness. Now, I know that you're not charging very much for that course right now. What have you got it at? Was it $497?
it's $497
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh. That's a $997 course if I ever heard of one. So
Yeah, well, it probably will be eventually.
yeah.
We're just
Sure.
upgrading some of the tools.
Sure. Well, and what goes around comes around, Chris. It really does. When you're being that helpful to our audience right now, people are going to be clamoring. They're going to get that VIP upgrade, which is dirt cheap, and then they're going to be able to listen to you on the way to work, on the way home,
Yep.
in the not in the shower, but in the bathtub. That would be cool. Yeah.
And it's also going to include, there will be a module on your dream career brand. So we're going to have them start dancing to the beat of the brand and your music someday, because you're going to write a song to that.
I am. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have them in good shape by the time they're done that 7 weeks.
All right. Well, let's see. Well, we've covered so much. I do want to. I always have an optional question, and I want to throw this at you. And that's this: when it comes to living your best life, what advice do you have for our viewers?
Yes, I've got some good advice, and
Good. I know you would.
Really is aligned with a lot of research, and that's play to your strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really feel like you don't have strengths, trust me, you do. You have some natural abilities, you have some natural talents that can be worked into strengths. Some of those talents may be a little dormant. But there's ways that you're working them already into your life, and we can help you draw those out. So I think one way I've heard it said is be lopsided. Stop trying to be everything to everybody. Be yourself. Be the best of who you are, and present that to the world. But you got to find out what your biggest strengths are, and that's part of you that will be covered in the course as well. So they'll get some help with that in the Ultimate Job Search Formula. And so that would be my advice is, you're happier if you're playing to your strengths, and then suddenly the job becomes a passion for you, or it becomes more enjoyable. And then you can, obviously there's ways to find your mission in life better if you're playing to your strengths, those natural abilities, those natural talents you have. So that's my biggest advice to people is don't try to fix every weakness, play to your strengths, try to be the best person you can be, but be you. That's what career branding is about, being the best of who you are, but be you. Don't be what other people are telling you to be yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I tell people, and it's kind of harsh, but nobody cares about your dream except you. Now, I'm a little bit, I go easy on them in the book, and I say no one cares as much
That's good,
about your dream as you do. Even your mama, you say, Mama, I'm taking this course from Career Niche. I'm taking this course from Coach Rick, A Strategy for Destiny, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. She looks up at you and pats you on the bottom and says, "That's nice, dear," and goes about her own complicated life. And that's as close as you're going to get to an endorsement about what you're trying to do. So I tell people, take the course and be doing what your action plan has led you to do before you even tell anybody anything. Make them come to you and say, "Hey, you're happier now." And how did you possibly get this? How did you possibly land this job? Well, I found out what my destiny is, and then I went to Chris Smith with Career Niche, and then I found out how to play to my strengths that were identified in Strategy for Destiny instead of suppressed. People, I hate this, but people talk you out of making progress. Well, you're the wrong age. You don't have enough training. You're too short. You're too tall. You're too dumb. You're the wrong color. You're the wrong whatever. You're the wrong gender. And what do you think you're trying to do anyway? Are you trying to be better than us? Better than me? Better than your family? Yes.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
We're going to give people a shield. So when they get out there, they've got armor and they've got a shield to deflect a lot of that, because nobody knows your possibilities. And sometimes you don't even know your own possibilities till you get out there and you do it, you act on it. But you have to have a system, and the system to monitor your plan, monitor your progress. That's the dancing, the dream career brand, the dancing model. And so we'll help them with that. And it can be life-changing to get a sense of, hey, there's some structure to how I should deliver my career to people and how I should talk about myself. It's great.
I think you should dump the word could. It will be.
Yes.
It will
be life-changing. They got to do the work though. There's some work involved.
Yes, you do. In my course, you identify your ambition, motivation, passion, vision, preparation. You got to do the work, and then your action, putting together that action plan. But you got to put in the work, and you delay is just a horrible thing. For somebody to listen to you today and listen to the two of us talking about how they can explode. The rest of their life can be absolutely wonderful, the way it was planned out before they were even born.
Mhm.
And when they can figure that out, let's say that they're 35 or 40, they've got some life experience. They know they don't like what they're doing, or it's pulled out from underneath them. It's gone. The job is gone. The company has disbanded, or whatever that is. And when they will make up their mind, I'm going to put, and I love this, I'm going to put my money where my heart is. Isn't that good? I like that. I got that. I've got that in the book, because you got to do something. You got to do something.
Skin in the game, as they say, right?
Skin in the game. Yeah, you got to do something. And with all that you do, you and Susie, man, they can't miss. They just can't miss.
Thank
Wow.
you. Well, I think, and also what you're doing with people, helping people find their destiny, kind of aligns perfectly with where we take them after that.
Yeah.
And so, we could talk probably a whole day on this. There's so many different topics related to this general theme here that we have of your dream career and your destiny. And so I think we can really do some good things for your viewers today. And if they're interested in these courses, they just have to reach out to us. I guess that'll be on the Summit site.
Yes.
The email.
Oh yeah. They'll be able to get everything that you have to offer, and be drooling about working with you on a professional basis. And you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to be on the same stage with you sometime. I'd like to.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Can you do a song and dance?
Well, I can play the keyboards.
Can you?
I can tickle the ivory, as they say, but I'm not a very good dancer, I must admit. You can ask Susie about that, my wife.
We'll hire some dancers, okay?
That's a better idea. For sure.
All righty. Well, this has been absolutely outstanding, Chris, and I'm hoping to be able to interview Susie also, and get her organizational end of things, and how that.
She's fun. She's the fun part of the company, so people love her. So you got to get her on for sure.
How long have you been married?
It's been 14 years.
14 years. Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right. So some of the stuff, absolutely free. Terrific. I mean, amazing stuff. But you need to upgrade to VIP status so that you can get a $9.97 course it should be, and absolutely free, because of the big heart of this man, Chris Smith. And so
thanks.
And enjoy, listen to this video again and again. It's going to be uplifting to you. It's going to help you, especially in this economy. You need somebody to encourage you. And you got at least 3 somebodies right here: Chris and Susie and Rick. Yeah, and we'll do it. So until the next video, we're signing off. Thank you, Chris. And
thank you, Rick.
Goodbye for now.
Take care.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. If you have seen some of the other videos from the Summit Achieve Your Dream. We've had some phenomenal speakers, guest speakers, doing all kinds of interviews. I'm having the time of my life. And I'll tell you, we got a good one right now. This is a pretty lady, but she's got a lot of brains too. She's done a lot of things. And I'm going to read you her bio. This is a busy lady. Dr. Venus, the biohacking MD. I'm going to have to ask you about that later. Is a board certified physician in the specialty of physical medicine and rehabilitation, with a thriving medical practice in Southern California. A respected fitness trainer, she's had clients ranging from single moms to professional athletes and even an action film star. A repeat guest expert on the TV series The Doctors, she's been featured on several other shows, including NBC's Today and American Gladiators. That sounds fun. Having had great success in landing media exposure for her own brand, she now guides fellow entrepreneurs on increasing their visibility to grow their businesses as well. So if you've got anything going business-wise, you're going to really love what she has to say. Okay, now, since Achieve Your Dream, which is after my own heart, is based on what were you born to do, I'm going to ask you that question, and then I'm going to turn you loose. So, Dr. Venus Ramos, what were you born to do? Take it away.
Oh my goodness. What was I born to do? I think very much I am doing what I feel I was born to do.
Good.
At least as far as I can remember. People will ask me all the time, when did you decide you wanted to be a doctor? Mm-hmm. When did you make that decision? When did the idea of becoming a doctor first float through your head? And I do have a memory. There is some sort of a memory in the back of my mind. I can actually picture myself having fallen on the playground in preschool and something like someone slapping a Band-Aid on my knee. Perhaps it was the teacher, perhaps it was the school nurse, who knows? But someone doing that and me thinking, that's what I want to do. I want to fix and heal people. I want to be a doctor. Somehow, my earliest memory back in preschool, that's what I remember, wanting to be a doctor. So it's got to be what I was born to do. The rest of my life was spent trying to pursue this goal, no matter what other things may have interested me. And there are a lot of things in my life that have interested me. I was never swayed from the path of wanting to ultimately become a physician. So going that route and then finally choosing my specialty, which I think was perfectly suited for me, physical medicine and rehabilitation, has worked out wonderfully. I'm able to do things that I really enjoy, working to help keep people as functional as possible, restore function, optimize function, and even optimize function so that I'm not necessarily even focusing on patients in the medical field, but also to the general public, people that want to stay healthy, so that I teach them how to essentially optimize their function through biohacking techniques.
Oh, no, just a second. Now. To my generation, hacking is when you have a really bad cough. So what is biohacking?
Well, when it comes to biohacking, that is a term that actually it lends itself to a few ideas of what it really means. There is a very, I guess you can call it hardcore group that takes biohacking, I guess, to very extreme levels, where you do a lot of self-testing on yourself, research on yourself. You may have a lot of devices, these weird electronic or medical devices, measuring this, that, and the other thing, and making sure that your body is functioning at its peak level, and then that you're taking the right vitamins and supplements and sleeping at the right time, so that all of the recordings that these medical devices are putting out are actually showing you data that you like. That sounds a little complicated. It doesn't have to be that complicated.
Yeah, possibly painful. Wow. Wow.
That's more of the what I call, I guess you could say, hardcore biohacking. And it doesn't have to be that at all. If you really think about what biohacking is meant to be, I did say things like making sure that your body is functioning as optimally as possible.
Mhm.
And that's essentially what most people want. They want their bodies to be functioning optimally. They want their minds to be operating at a peak level. And all of this does not necessarily mean that you have to go out and buy all these weird devices and recording things and measure your blood glucose on a regular basis and all of this stuff. Basically, biohacking is knowing your body, which is all about biology, physiology, knowing how your body works, and then doing things in your life that, no matter how small those things that you may be doing, can start to make changes in your health, can start to make changes in how your body is functioning. So that may be perhaps this may be as simple as that eating something super fatty and sugary is not a great thing to put into your body. So you make the choice not to put that into your body. That's a very simple biohacking thing, because your body's going to function much more optimally if you don't put that super fatty, sugary thing into it. That is essentially what biohacking is all about. But when you're able to do it in ways that are simple, where you may affect these complex processes in your body, but just do them in a simple way. Maybe it's something like intermittent fasting, maybe just changing the times when you're eating. That helps to make your body and the way it's processing blood sugar. That might be a change that you make. It doesn't have to be a super complicated thing, and it can really just be a focus on making healthier choices in your life. That can certainly be considered biohacking. It's just understanding how your body works and creating those little lifestyle hacks that are going to make staying healthy easier for you to do.
Well, you have obviously stayed healthy, but I think there's one chapter in your life where maybe you could have gotten really beaten up. Now you don't strike me as being a large person, but in your bio, there was something about American Gladiators. I know that has probably not very much to do with what we're talking about today or the subject of your talk and all that, but I'm so curious. Were you really on American Gladiators? Were you one of the gladiators?
I was definitely on American Gladiators,
Oh my
and
God.
I was not cast as one of the gladiators. This was the NBC version of American Gladiators. I believe Layla Ali and Hulk Hogan were the hosts of American Gladiators at that time. And I was not one of the gladiators. I was one of the contenders that had to often be matched up against one of the gladiators. So
You got
yes,
beat up. So
I
they
got
beat
beat
you up.
up. I got tossed into water. I got pile driven. Is that a word?
Oh, I actually know what that
I
is.
was
Oh,
body slammed.
okay.
I endured all of that. So it was quite an experience. Being a fitness competitor, of course, I'm not afraid of doing anything physical. I certainly had my share of a lot of physical feats and training that I had to do as a fitness competitor. But American Gladiators definitely took it into a whole new and different level. It was a lot of fun. And I must say that there was a lot that I learned from the experience and a lot that I continue to draw from having been on American Gladiators. The point where the show ended and you are basically going head to head against one other contender at the final race, which they call the Eliminator. And that's basically a really long obstacle course. That's just well, I guess your standard obstacle course on steroids. It's a really long, crazy obstacle course that you have to go through. I started off really well at the beginning of the obstacle course, and I wasn't actually in super awesome shape for this competition because I was called in as an alternate for American Gladiators.
Okay.
I was rounding at one of my nursing home facilities on patients when I received a phone call that they needed me to report to the studio if at all possible. I'm like, what? Because the casting for American Gladiators had happened, oh, I don't know, maybe a month before. So I wasn't selected. I had gotten into, I guess, the final cuts, but I was cut at the final cut. And so I was rounding at a facility when I got the call, and I said, sure, I can come this afternoon. We'll just have a few more patients to see. So I showed up, and it turns out someone had gotten injured in the first competition of the day, and that's why I had to fill in for her for the rest of the competition. So I wasn't quite in peak optimized shape for that competition. So when I ran through the obstacle course, I was very exhausted about halfway through. And the competitor I was up against had actually just flown ahead of me at that point because I was slowing down more and more through the middle of the race. And at that point, I didn't really even care. I just knew that I was going to finish this race. No matter what, I wasn't going to stop. I was just going to keep going, no matter how many times I fell off of this, that, and the other thing, or got beaten back down again. I just keep going. You're going to finish. So I remember climbing up this thing they called the pyramid.
Yeah.
Slowly working my way up the pyramid. I got to the top of the pyramid, and you were supposed to come down a zip line and then now have to run up, basically it looked like a reverse treadmill, but it was on an incline. So having to climb that up after you came down the zip line was the next to last thing you had to do. And I remember looking down as I grabbed the zip line about to launch myself down, and I saw the contender was still struggling. She was basically hanging on to the incline because she couldn't get up what they called the travelator, that incline treadmill. So I said, she's still struggling. All right. So I zipped on down. I said, okay, just get up this darn thing. And I somehow did it on my first try. And I busted through the wall and ended up as one of making it to the semifinals because I had gotten in on a faster time. So it was a pretty awesome feeling knowing that I was pretty much counted out.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, she's just got to finish. I don't know if she's going to finish this darn thing. She's struggling so much through the middle of this race. But I just kept telling myself, oh, I don't even care where she is, where she's finishing. I just know that I'm going to finish this race. And it ends up, hey, I ended up on top.
What a great attitude. Oh my gosh. That's a fun story to tell. Yeah, my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, we are doing fine here with our time. I have another question about achieving your dream, and that is, and then I want to get into the title of what you want to talk about today, because I think a lot of people say it has to do with joint ventures, guys. So hang in there. You're going to love this. So the question that I've been asking is, how does your business fit into your dream? I know you've said some about that, but is there more that you want to share?
Oh, absolutely. The thing is that at the core of what I wanted to do, what I was born to do, as a child, it's easy to point to, oh, I'm hurt. I want to do something to help people because that's just an easy idea to wrap your mind around as a child. Someone's injured. Oh, I hurt myself. I want this to be fixed. Oh, that's cool. I want to be able to fix people when I grow up. So that's a really easy concept. Essentially, that is what I have in my heart. That's what I feel in my spirit, that I truly want to be able to help people. And regardless of whether I was doing that as a physician, whether I was doing that as a fitness trainer, working on helping people more on the health and fitness side, focusing more on preventing people from getting to the point where I needed to treat them for stroke.
Oh.
As a physician.
Don't mention stroke to somebody in my age group.
I mean, those are the, as a rehab physician, those are the patients that I see. But as a fitness trainer, those are the clients that I was trying to prevent from later becoming my patients.
Wow.
So I think that I really wanted to be able to do something to help people. And as I did more, wanted to reach more people with my message of fitness as a lifestyle for everyone. I knew that as the internet was growing, because I kind of grew up in that age where the internet was born and growing, that reaching out online to people was going to be a way that I could really spread that message, getting that message across, that fitness was truly a lifestyle for everyone, no matter how busy you are or how much money you have for a gym membership or not, that you somehow fitness could be a part of your life. So going online, creating group programs, trying to help as many people as possible was an important aspect of my business, not necessarily as a physician, because I didn't really see patients online, at least not until the pandemic happened anyway. But I was definitely wanting to reach out to more people online in the fitness world and in the health and fitness industry. So being able to do that really allowed me to reach a wider segment of people, which was my ultimate goal, to help people. I know it may sound a little cheesy, but again, that was what I feel in my heart I was born to do. And as I continued to do that, and having been in the fitness competitor world, there was already a lot of TV exposure. So I found myself reaching a lot of people because I had exposure on television and because I had exposure online. And I found that some of my fellow friends in the fitness industry wanted to know more about that. How are you getting all these opportunities to be more visible? How are you growing your business and reaching more people? And that's essentially what I wanted to do, is to be able to help my entrepreneur friends now on how to grow their own business, because there's so much I had learned about increasing my own visibility in business. And so again, in order to not necessarily just help people, my patients, or help people, my fitness clients, I was now able to expand my business even more and help fellow entrepreneurs grow their business with the things that I had learned about growing online.
Wow. You're amazing. You are just amazing. So this helping other people with their business, that's something that you're starting to do more of, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I remember when I first went online, I was struggling because I just didn't get it. I was like, how is it? Well, first of all, I did what many entrepreneurs do, just buy every course that you see.
Guilty.
You run into this course and that course. Oh, I need to learn this. Oh, that sounds like a cool idea. I can add that too. And just buy all these courses. And I learned so many things, and I just tried this, that, and the other thing, but I was really having trouble with the initial growth of my business. And it wasn't until I held a summit that I really started to put some steam behind what I was doing, to really start growing as a business that was functioning online. And that was because, as I learned with summits, you are able to help yourself by using other entrepreneurs. And I understood the importance of JV partnerships in building a business when you're first starting out, to partner with other people, help use their audiences to help grow my own audience. And that way, not only was through a summit, not only was I creating this awesome training material between two entrepreneurs who are collaborating together. You are also helping to grow each other's audiences together. So it just was a huge win-win to be able to teach a lot of people a lot of things, and then also to collaborate with other entrepreneurs, to meet even more entrepreneurs as I interviewed them, and as you are probably discovering yourself.
Yes.
So there's a whole lot of fantasticness.
I like
That's
that.
even a word.
We'll send that in the website. We'll
When
send it.
you are working with other people to help grow your own audience, because essentially that is the way towards exponential growth. Then you don't feel like you are kind of stuck in this mode of trying this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing and nothing really working, because you need an audience before you have all of you put together the perfect program and you put together the perfect marketing campaign. Because what's the marketing campaign if you don't have an audience to market to? So the audience is key, and building that audience through the use of JV partners and being able to teach people that using JV partners, it's really what I find the most fulfilling thing.
If I may, for those of you who don't know what JV means, that means joint venture partners. And this particular summit that I'm putting on, I am borrowing people such as Dr. Venus from an organization called JV Insider Circle, or Joint Venture Insider Circle, so that if any of you are wanting to find some JVs, work with Dr. Venus to put together summits and that sort of thing, I'm living proof that it's going to really, really, really help. Because when you're in business, remember, this is personal development, business, health, and relationships. Okay, that's the Achieve Your Dream Summit. That when I'm putting together a course, which I have, Strategy for Destiny, like, where am I going to find people? Where am I going to find people who need this course and who want this course? It's all about visibility. It's about the marketing and everything. And when you work with this lady and you work with JVs, you work with joint venture partners, that becomes a possibility. And yeah, it's a lot of work. Oh my gosh, I have learned it's a lot of work, but it is phenomenal. So tell us more about your involvement with JVs and with summits and all that. You're pioneering something, aren't you? With JVs, aren't you starting up something here, or have you been at it for a while?
Well, I've been working in the JV management space, strictly in the JV management space as a specialty of sorts. It kind of grew as a division of the whole Dr. Venus brand, because I was helping people so much in the health and fitness arena, where people were a little bit confused. They're like, what are you doing? What is this JV management thing? What does that have to do with health? I'm like, well, it has a lot to do with the health of your business. But essentially, it is an entire other segment, and it's an entire other way of stimulating my brain. And I absolutely love it. What I'm doing essentially is helping to entrepreneurs form the relationships that are required to work with JV partners, because that's what a joint venture partnership is. It's a relationship. And when you're managing JVs, when you are a JV manager, you are acting on behalf of any of your clients in order to make those relationships, really foster those relationships and help them work towards building an audience for you. So as a JV manager, if any entrepreneur were to hire me, I would be reaching out to new people, reaching out to the people who are already in my database, people I've already met, relationships I've already created, and introducing them to my new client, telling them all about their products, services, whether it's something that they would like to be an affiliate for, whether it's something they would like to promote, whether it's something they could somehow figure out a collaboration with, maybe plan a new event, plan a new summit together, plan anything that might possibly occur. And then I just help make that connection happen and help make it happen. If it's as simple as, oh, I'll be an affiliate of yours, I'll take a commission, then I'll just give them all the information they need to promote that particular product or service. So that's essentially how that works in the JV management space. Of course, you can do your own JV management as an entrepreneur. Perhaps when you're first starting out, hiring a JV manager might not be your very first step, because it's a good idea to kind of learn how to collaborate with others first before you just assign someone to say, oh, just go meet some people for me and have them promote for me. Because really, you want to also get to know people, build those relationships yourself, because that will just make it so much stronger for you. So get out there, meet people, go to conferences, virtual summits, get involved in the Facebook groups, because there's Facebook groups associated with these groups. Comment, ask questions, meet in the breakout rooms, speak out in the breakout rooms when you're on Zoom calls. Just meet as many people as you can, and then just say, hey, I think we have a lot in common, or perhaps there might be a way our businesses can work together. Let's have a meeting and just see what might come of it. Even if there isn't a collaboration in the immediate future, just find out everything about their business. Find out what they do, who they help. And who they help is an important thing to know, because if it's not the same audience as yours, then a collaboration may not be the first thing on your list. I'm not going to say you need to just like forget about it, this was a waste of time, but having the same audience is very key when you're first starting out with JV partnerships, because what's the point of helping to grow an audience that is not your audience?
Well, I probably won't collaborate with a diesel mechanic. More than likely. He knows what he was born to do.
Exactly. So there's no problem in meeting them. And I actually, of course, as a JV manager, because I have clients in different areas, I'll meet anybody and everybody, because you never know when you might need it. But that's true for every entrepreneur. You never know when you might need a connection to somebody. And sometimes when you're meeting people and you're trying to strike up JV deals, it's always a good idea to give first, to be the supportive one, so that you don't look like you're always taking. Oh, I need you to promote this. I need you to promote this. Relationships really start getting built when they're coming from a place of giving. And it's so much easier to want to support someone who first offered to support you. So definitely, when you're meeting lots of people, even if you're meeting people that are outside of your target audience, if their target audience doesn't necessarily meet yours, still get that information. Know who their target audience is, know what their programs and services are, know what they do for people, even know the size of their email list, so you kind of get a gauge of how they might be able to support others. Because when you get on phone calls with other people that you really want to be able to work with, if they're trying to meet someone and you have done so much networking and so many one-on-one calls with people that you know a person that fits who they're looking for, then that's something that is actually, an introduction is actually a fantastic way of giving to that person, not necessarily through supporting them as an affiliate, but giving them that introduction that will lead to more business for them. So definitely never close the door on meeting new people who might not necessarily meet your target audience, because it can be helpful for other relationship building on down the line.
Yeah, it's not always it's not always who you know. And I talk to you, you're a physician, and I'm this old guy who wants people to find their dream. Okay. So what do we have in common? Well, we do actually have a lot in common, but it's who you know also. Who can you introduce me to? And that is what I have learned in working with other JVs, is that giving part is so amazing. And you know who the most giving people are? The ones who are the most successful. They really are. They're the people who have a 20,000 person email list or 100,000 or whatever. It's like, oh, I'll set you up with so and so. I'll do an email, I'll do an introduction, or get with me later. And I've got 5 people. I'm going, wow, these are really giving people. And that I'm glad you brought that up, because that makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And again, just go into each conversation knowing what your strategy is for your own personal collaborations. In order for a project to be successful, yes, you should have the same target audience as the person you are collaborating with on a specific project, because you want to be mutually growing each other's audiences. So you want to be able to benefit from that. And it only makes sense to work with someone who has the same target audience as you. But as you continue to network with people, don't necessarily say, nah, I don't need to talk to you more because you don't have my same target audiences. Because you never know when someone else that you want to work with needs that introduction to a person just like that.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, I am so enjoying this, and we've got to. I need to get to this next question, okay? And that is, I know that you have a gift for the people who are watching now. In fact, this lovely lady also has a premium gift for those who upgrade, do the VIP upgrade, which should be everybody. So you can watch her again, listen to her again, and hear everything from American Gladiators to JVs. I mean, that's running the gamut right there. Not running the gauntlet, but running the gamut. Yes. So
that was another event on American Gladiators.
No. All right. We'll talk about that on the next summit. Okay. So tell us about your free gift and about your premium giveaway also.
Absolutely. I have a free gift for everyone, and it's actually going to fit very nicely if you are trying to work with JV partners. JV partners is not necessarily the typical other entrepreneur, I promote you, you promote me type of thing. A JV partner is anyone who can somehow benefit from you and you benefit from them. And that includes the media. The media needs content. The media often wants to interview people because they have an audience and they need to show their audience something. So if you're trying to get on media, they are essentially a JV partner with you because you're helping provide content to them. However, they are helping give you more visibility. So you are mutually benefiting from each other. However, you often need to learn how to pitch that media partner correctly.
Here comes the title. Here it comes.
In order to be noticed, because the media does get a lot of requests. So if you're trying to figure out how to do that so you actually get noticed and you don't just end up getting scrolled over in the inbox or thrown into the circular file, I have the quick start guide to the perfect pitch. So it works for media, it works for pitching potential JV partners. Perhaps you're trying to reach out to that high level partner. This quick start guide is just what you're looking for.
I guess. Okay. Now that's the free part. Okay. Now she's got a premium one for you VIP upgraders, if that's a word. Okay. Tell us some more about that.
Well, if you do get the VIP pass, I am going to give you a bonus, and that is my Power of JV Partners workshop.
Oh.
I hold this half-day workshop where I actually take you step by step on where to find JV partners, how to find the JV partners, how to get the attention of a high-level JV partner and actually have them consider working with you, how to structure commissions, like what commission you should be paying for certain types of products and services, depending on your business, what's a good standard to look at. I teach you about how to even set up an affiliate system, how to keep track of who gets how much commission for what sales.
Which we have done, which
yes,
we are doing here. Yes,
exactly. So I'll help you figure out how you're supposed to keep track of that in terms of knowing who sent who to wear for what sale.
Oh.
Sometimes it can be a little complicated. So if you're really wanting to use the power of JV partners to grow your audience by using their audiences, this half-day workshop is absolutely perfect for you. And you will get a full recording of the full half-day workshop.
Woo! That is downright priceless. That really is. I am amazed. Well, I've got one more question for the lovely Dr. Venus, and that is, I'm going to check this out because I want to get it right. And that is, when it comes to living your best life, what advice do you have for our viewers, for our audience, living your best life? So wrap it up, take it home.
Living your best life. Oh my gosh, have fun. Oh my gosh, it's so important. Have fun. And this tracks directly with biohacking. So coming back to the basics, back to your health. When you're having fun in life, you're going to be so much more productive. And making sure that you're keeping your stress levels in check, which means you're keeping your cortisol levels in check, is going to help optimize your body for peak prime functioning. Cortisol can do a whole lot of stuff to your body. I won't get into it now because it's going to take a long time to explain, but it can do a whole lot of things to you that doesn't particularly help you function at all in terms of peak function. Your memory, your sexual function, your cardiovascular function, your immunity, your digestion, so many things are affected by cortisol levels that stay too high for too long. So have fun, take a breath.
I forget.
Life is awesome. So enjoy it, because overall, you're going to be a lot healthier for it.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Well, okay. Now look, you got to get the course, because it goes with the freebie. Okay. If you really want to make your life better, okay, to achieve your dream, let's do the upgrade. All right. Now I want to thank Dr. Venus Ramos. I rolled the R. Did you catch that? Okay. Yeah. And this has been delightful. And aren't these interviews fun? Aren't they fun? If this is your last one, whoa, terrible. But if you're right in the middle of all these interviews, because we're running for several days, remember that, running for several days, then get on all of them. Get on all of them. But if you can't, be sure to do the upgrade so that you have access to them until you're my age. Okay. All righty. So we're gonna call it a day here. Thank you, Dr. Venus, and we can smile our way out. Hello, Janelle Anderson. Yes. And welcome to Achieve Your Dream Summit. I am thrilled to have you on this as one of our speakers. And I want to tell people a little bit about you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Janelle Anderson is a speaker, an author, and confidence coach. Woo! For women entrepreneurs. And she helps women own their expertise, monetize their message, and attract more clients. With her powerful confidence building formula, women conquer the imposter within and speak up with confidence and clarity to stand out in the marketplace. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Is that you in a nutshell?
That's it. Yeah.
Confidence lady. I love that. Well, since our theme for this summit is Achieve Your Dream, let's start with this all-important question. Janelle, what were you born to do?
Good question, Rick. So I believe I was born to see potential in people. I intuitively see it, and then I draw it out of them, and I create a way, like, that's why I was a teacher. So I'm able to create action steps. I'm able to create learning paths. I'm able to see what's in them and help them see it for themselves, and then help them map out a plan of action so that they can actually realize their full potential. Like, I just love to see people, live up to their fullest, what they were created to do and who they are,
Well, then we are cut off the same block. We
Awesome.
really have, because strategy for destiny, what were you born to do and how do you get there? You
Yeah,
know, it
absolutely.
sounds like. Now, how old were you when you decided, hey, I have this this inner tuition or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, to be able to help people and build up their confidence?
Well, I really feel like I kind of intuitively knew this even as a child, because I used to invite the neighborhood kids over to my house to
Uh-huh.
play school, but it wasn't really playing to me. It was like serious. I wanted to teach them. I wanted to find out what they were all about, and I wanted to bring it out of them. And then I became a teacher. And then later I became a coach. So I don't know that I could put an age on when I first started. Um, it's just sort of shown up and expressed itself through me in different ways all throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized really about the confidence, like I realized that in the last few years. I started coaching 7 years ago. And along the way, I began to see in my clients, and just through reading and research, this whole thing about confidence, especially with women and the imposter syndrome, that it was a thing, you know. And I did not have confidence for most of my life until I just went through a lot of inner work and creating that confidence within and finding out what was getting in my way. And I had to go back and revisit some things and process some things from my past that was still impacting me. And as I did that, I started to notice that I was a lot more confident. I was speaking up more. I was feeling a lot more at home in my skin. I was loving who I was instead of looking for validation from outside myself. And that's when I decided, okay, this is what I want to do with women, especially entrepreneurs who are trying to build a business and they're trying to do their thing, but they don't have the confidence for various reasons. And so I love to help them, you know, like step into their greatness and really be fearlessly confident.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, you answered the second question.
Oh.
What did you do to get there? And so the third question that I want to ask is, how does your business fit into your dream? You're helping us along there. In fact, you're kind of answering my first three questions all in one swell swoop here.
Sorry about that. Well, my business is, you know, I used to do these things in other careers, like as a teacher and as a manager of a business. But then when I stepped into coaching, it enabled me to create, I call it a platform, create a platform from which I can express all these, express this, this idea of developing confidence in a lot of different ways. And I get to create whatever I want. So my business enables me to do what I want to do and be really creative. And a part of my teaching gift, I get to create learning paths, I call them, courses and things like that, where, you know, step by step, here's how you get here, you know, and give them exercises and practices. But I also love the psychology part of coaching, where I get to dig into like, who are you and what makes you who you are? And, you know, really listening to them and being able to help them uncover the things that really are holding them back. And so coaching allows me to do that. And then I also get to create learning paths and courses, and I get to teach. And so it just enables me, and speaking, I love to speak. So my business allows me to express all of these things in various ways, but I'm still, all of it, you know, is centered around this idea of helping women step into fearless confidence, be all that they can be, and just 100% step out there and give it to the world, all that they are, because I feel like a lot of women are holding back.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we need them to be fully who they are and stepping into their gifts and sharing them with the world, because we need that. And yeah, so I love to see that happen.
Well, I'm old enough that when my wife Molly and I met in college 45 years ago, it was only recommended to her that she become a secretary or a teacher or a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, or a nurse.
and or a nurse, yes.
Mhm.
And
Yep, that was
that
it.
was
Those
just
are our
that was just
options.
ludicrous because she's so amazingly intelligent and intuitive also. So
Yes.
I guess that's why I like you so much. There are a lot of similarities between you and my wonderful wife of 45 years, Molly. So
Yes, that's awesome.
so do you have you have a course, or do you have several courses that you can point people toward?
Well, I have my signature course that I've been developing. It's called Fearless Confidence Formula, but it's
Mhm.
evolved into a course that helps women empower their voice to speak up. So,
Okay.
getting your message clear, learning how to articulate your thoughts, learning how to be confident that you have what your opinions and ideas are worth a lot. They
Yeah.
have value.
Mhm.
And to be able to, because a lot of times women will be like, they'll tell me like, well, my mind will go blank or I'll freeze, or I'm worried about what other people will think of me if I speak up. So I help them overcome those things and really see, with speaking techniques and with practice, but also developing their thoughts and ideas into stories and talks, and then practicing in our group and in our class with that, and learning how to do Facebook Lives without feeling scared, just so,
They are
especially
scary.
they are for entrepreneurs or leaders or people that have to do sales, learning how to have those conversations with confidence. So that's what that course has become. So it's more about speaking with confidence in
Ah,
particular.
okay.
And then I have some other courses I've developed. One is called Life Purpose Course. It helps you find your life purpose, and
Okay.
looking at your strengths and your personality and your values and your passions and just what makes you you, and then what do you want to do with it all. And I was developing one called How to Talk to Anyone, more about conversations, not necessarily for entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
but especially introverts. How do I walk into a conversation and not feel self-conscious, and how can I approach relationships and people and communicate better? So that one I taught as a workshop
Uh-huh.
in person. It was very popular. So that will become a course that people can access online. And I have this is an all-day event, and so I record it and then post it as a course that people could take. It's called Storytelling Mastery for Entrepreneurs.
Good grief. You cover a lot of bases, don't you?
I do. That's what I mean. Like, my business lets me do whatever I want, and I get to create all kinds of different things because there's a lot to do. So
Do you
and I
do
just
much one-to-one personal coaching?
yes, I do. I love to do one-on-one coaching. I'm also developing a group mastermind. It's called the Year of You Journey. And so it is a group coaching program where you also get that community and that support, and you get to be on the journey with other women.
Mhm.
And it is all about you. So, what are your dreams? And it's, developing and discovering and developing your voice, which to me, when I say voice, I don't mean just your vocal cords.
Right.
I
Right.
mean like your ideas and your message and the
Mm.
expression of who you are that comes out. And then your message itself and your impact, the impact that you're meant to make on the world, whether it's, through a business or in your career or whatever it might be. So it's a program that really gives women that space to let down their guard, to be real, to learn who they are, to have others around them supporting them on the journey and creating that community. But also having access to me, that's not in a big program where there's so many people that you just kind of get lost,
Right.
but a very personalized journey. Because my heart in this is for women to take the time to know who they are, take that year and focus on you. Not that you're not doing other things, but
Mhm.
you're setting aside time every week with this group to really get to know who you are. And I use assessments to help them with that, and lots of exercises and coaching that will happen in there. So that is brand new, just getting ready to launch that.
That is
And then I
so
have
exciting.
Yeah, and then I have my one-on-one clients as well. So
Okay.
I'm
And
so
and
excited
how long
about
do
it.
you usually coach someone on a one-to-one basis? Do they stay with you for a long time, or do they get what they need to know from you and then you kick them out of the nest?
Well, I just recently, this past year, I transitioned from doing 10 or 12 sessions to they have to sign up with me for at least 6 months. And I recommend a year, because I found that after those 10 or 12 sessions, we're just getting started.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I know it took me a long time to come through that transformation and really, deal with all the stuff I needed to, and really get to know who I am, and really enter into this place that I'm confident in who I am.
Yes.
And then, in fact, I just wrote a book about that whole journey, and it's coming out in January. And so
industrious you are.
Yes. So it takes time, and I want my clients to have that time. So I really am I'm really transitioning. Not that I wouldn't coach somebody for a shorter amount of time, but I hesitate to do that now, because I get to that point and I'm like, oh, but there's so much more. Stay with me. And usually they do, but I just like them to right away make that commitment to themselves that they're going to, spend 6 months or a year on themselves. So even with the one-on-one, and then the year of you, it's based on this whole year journey.
The year of you.
The year of you.
Yeah. Now this group that you have, if I put on a wig and talk in my falsetto, could I like be a fly in the on the wall or something?
Well,
I doubt
I'd
it.
love
No.
to have you in there.
Well, I'll tell you that the truth is that a lot of times in a women's group, if a man comes in, it's intimidating.
It
So
is.
I won't do that to you, Janelle.
Yeah, I mean, I've really struggled with that, because I've had a lot of men ask me that too, but I'm like, there's just something, and it's not that I'm opposed to that, but there is something for women that's different when it's just women. As far as when you're getting into the personal things, like if it's business strategy and building a business, that's different than what I do is work on them so that they show up 100% in their business or whatever they want to do. Because I do attract a lot of women that are leaders in their organizations, not necessarily entrepreneurs, but so it's more of the personal journey, as I feel like that's missing in a lot of programs out there. And I feel in that gap where, we're not just working on the outer things, but we're working on you first, so that then you are going the direction that's in sync and in alignment with who you are and who you were meant to be. Right. I mean, I know that's what you're all about, right?
Well, it is. I'm just a male version of you. Yeah.
There you go. We need you too.
Well, yes. I mean, I've been doing this for over 35 years, but I haven't had a course for very long, and that's where the rubber meets the road, with literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people who need to hear what you have to say and need to hear what I have to say, and can lead them down a path. I have a question for you, and some of our viewers may get mad at me, but don't send me any hate mail. But is there different training for a woman who's 5 feet tall and one who's 5'10"?
Not for me.
From a confidence standpoint, and being in walking into a room, because I've run into that. That the taller the woman, the more confidence they have walking into a room, staring somebody in the eye, especially a guy, and shaking his hand firmly. They've just been afraid to do that. But it's harder when you're looking up at somebody.
That's really interesting, because I have worked with women who are tall, who don't have confidence. And I have a niece who's only, what is she, 4'9", maybe. She's really small, and she is so confident, and she does not back down, and she will
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, she's something else. So I think it's more of a mindset and how you view yourself.
Sure.
And so if you're short and you have this mindset, a perspective of, well, I'm less than, or, somehow your shortness is, you've made up a story in your mind about that, means that you can't stand up for yourself or whatever. So that's really the work, is like, what are those stories you've been telling yourself about who you are, and how true are they? So
how true are they? Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
That's right. Because a lot of them aren't true.
Do you dig through the whole regret syndrome and all of that with some of your clients? Because the people I've done the beta testing on with Strategy for Destiny, What Were You Born to Do? It's just been, but by the time I get to regrets, there are just all kinds of tears. And I didn't do this. I did this wrong. I should have done that. And just, yeah. So I just wondered what happened
Yeah.
to people.
I mean, that definitely comes up, but again, it's understanding the impact that your past has had on you, but you can change how you look at your past, or you can change the relationship that you have with your past. I mean, that's what I had to do, because
That's a great way to put it.
yeah, I suffered a lot of trauma in my 20s, and the story I told myself was that I was worthless. I had caused this to happen. And I carried that with me for more than 30 years because I didn't deal with it. I didn't talk about it. I didn't get any help. I didn't process through it. I didn't take the time to understand why I was thinking that about myself. And so it just became, a part of my subconscious, and it drove my behaviors and my attitudes and all the decisions that I made. I always was holding back and playing small and thinking I didn't matter. And I always say I was hiding behind the curtain instead of being out on center stage.
Yeah.
Which is why my book is titled Take Center Stage, Be the Star of Your Own Story, because that's what happened to me. But I had to look at my past a different way and reframe it and change how I saw myself in those younger years, and realize that I had been a victim of trauma. I didn't cause it. It wasn't because I was worthless. It was because people took advantage of me, and own my story, as Brene Brown says, instead of trying to ignore it. I had to realize, well, that did happen. It did.
Very
happen,
good. Very
right?
good.
But what do I want to do with it now? And how has it made me who I am? And, what are the good things I can take out of that experience to help other people? And understanding, yourself, your psyche, your thoughts, your perspectives, why you feel the way you do, why you see things the way you do, and take a step back and say, well, how much of that is really true? And how much of it are things, that false beliefs that I have taken on as truth, but they're not really true? And what is the truth? And, so truth brings freedom, right? Knowing the truth brings freedom.
Yes.
And so that's the journey. And
getting to that though is so difficult. You've just explained this path, and then you get to the nitty gritty where the rubber meets the road, the pedal to the metal is, what do I do with this?
Right.
What do I do now? Because now is where you're living. The past is gone. The future isn't here yet. All we have to work with actually is just today, now. Yes. So are you going to attack? I want people to be warriors, not wusses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I want them to attack
where
they are now. Yep. Yes, they're going to be based on what you've been saying. Viewers, when you get the VIP package and you can listen to and watch Janelle again, get back to this section and re-listen to that time and time again until you can say, yes, I am who I am, and I'm important. I was born for such a time as this, and I'm going to make the best of the rest of my life, instead of, well, I'm such a scumbag, and maybe I'll do something with it next year. Stop that. Yeah. Listen to this lady.
Yes. Stop the negative self-talk.
Yes.
We are our worst critics, for sure. And
yes.
If you can begin to speak over yourself the truth of who you are, instead of the lies of I'm a scumbag and I'm a loser, because you're not. You're not. You're amazing. You are amazing. You were created I believe, in the image of God in such a way, a unique design with your own set of, just like we are individual and unique in our DNA physically, and our tongue print and our hair, our eyes, our skin, everything about us is unique, everything. Yes. And so is the inner part of us, our personality, our strengths, our perspectives, the experiences that we've had, how we think, how we operate in the world. It's all unique and it's all wonderful. And it's getting to that real essence of who you are. The perfect you is what Dr. Caroline Leaf calls it. She's a neuroscientist. She's amazing. And she has a book called The Perfect You. And it's that perfect you that's inside, but
Mhm.
we've lost touch with it throughout our lives. And we've tried to be somebody we're not, for various reasons, messages we get from everywhere around us. And we think, well, I'm not good enough, so I've got to try to be somebody else. No, who you are is more than good enough. Who
Yes.
you are is amazing. And if you can look at yourself and say that and believe it, it's not boasting, it's not bragging, it's actual fact.
And people do need to realize that it's
Yeah.
not boasting, that it's
No.
not bragging. Who you are is who you are. And
Yes.
as you said, the divine plan is always there.
Yes.
It's just whether or not we make the choice
Yes.
to dig into it. And I mean dig. And the older we get, the deeper we seem to have to dig to
That's true.
to get back to, okay, who was I in my 20s? Did that change in my 30s, in my 40s, my 50s? I'm not going to go any higher because I don't want to tell you how old I am. But you just have to dig so deep. But it's not only possible, it's probable
Yes.
that when you dig, that the women that you're working with are going to realize, I have value. I have real value. And when I get to that point with the people I've been coaching for so many years, when I get to that point of where you have real value, you have to believe that. All of a sudden, I mean, it's a whole rack of lights that goes on. It's not just one ding, ding, ding light bulb. It's
Right.
just I have value.
Yes.
Wow. And that's what you're doing.
Yes.
I just love it. Go
Yes.
on. I'm talking too much.
No, that's it. Like, that was a big turning point for me, was seeing the value. That I had value. I have value. What I have to say matters. Who I am matters. Not everybody will like it, and that's okay. I don't need everyone else to approve who I am. I just need to approve who I am for myself.
Yes.
And if people like me, that's great, of course. But my well-being and my state of mind does not depend on the approval of other people. And that is
That's huge.
so huge. Yeah.
So huge. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could go on for 3.5 hours
You
each
could easily.
on that one topic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a gift for people who are watching, a free gift. Yay. I
Yes.
like free. Yay. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, it is a little mini course. It's called Be Confident, Be Real, Be You. It's 3 videos. Each video has a downloadable action guide.
Mhm.
And it starts with the imposter syndrome. What is that? Where does it come from? How can you identify some of the imposter stories you've made up in your head about you, where they might come from? And I give some examples, and then you do some exercises. You start looking at your strengths, who you are. And there's a really cool exercise. I won't give the spoiler alert, but at the end, there's a really cool exercise that you end up creating an actual visual that
Okay.
you can use and put up in front of yourself. And you can use that when you go to the mirror to talk positive over yourself. And I recommend talking to yourself in the mirror, eyeball to eyeball.
You know,
When
that's
you get
hard.
that, it
That
is
is
hard.
hard to
It
do.
is hard. It is
Yeah.
weird. It feels awkward,
Uh-huh.
but it's so empowering.
Yeah.
It's so empowering. And so you have this visual, you have this tool by the end of that course with words that you can use that are truth about who you are. And you get to that through the exercises that I give. So
Okay.
there you go.
All right. Well, I'm going to get a copy of that.
All right. You can have that.
For sure. My goodness. Okay. We've still got time here, but I thought this would be kind of fun. If you could address this, you've been addressing everything I have wanted to say to you, and covered just everything. I'm so thrilled that you're a speaker on the summit. But when it comes to living your best life, that's where you and I come in.
Yeah.
How do you get to living your best life? What I ask, if money and time were no object and you knew you couldn't fail, nothing and no one could stop you, stressing no one, nothing and no one could stop you, what would you do? That's my opening line with anybody, because it opens the floodgates. And then I ask, what would the rest of your life look like if you were actually doing that? And then here's the big one. Here's where you and I come in. What are you willing to do to get there? Are you going to go talk to Janelle? Are you going to talk to Rick? Are you going to figure this thing out? Otherwise, you're doing what people expect you to do, what people force you to do, and you're building up regret after regret after regret. And the only way to get rid of that is to discover that real you and build up some ding, ding, ding confidence.
Yes.
So the question again, when it comes to living your best life, what advice do you have for our viewers, for our audience?
I love what you just said. And I know for me, it was the same thing. It was like, what am I going to do with this? I know I only have one life to live.
Yeah.
And I was in my late 50s when I had my wake up call, and I was kind of like, oh my gosh, how did that much time go by so fast? What am I doing? Am I living my best life? No. What am I going to do? What am I going to do about it? Like, that's what it comes down to, just like what you said. And yes, it might take time to get clear on what it is you want to do, but don't just continue like making do and settling for wherever you are in that comfort zone. If you're not happy,
It's not a comfort zone.
it's not.
It's not if you're not comfortable.
And speaking about the regret, like I remember thinking, oh my gosh, if I was sitting in church and my pastor was doing this teaching called The Path of Destiny, and he draws this path on the whiteboard and puts X's on the path and X's outside the path. And he says, God created you for a destiny, created you for a purpose, but that doesn't mean that you'll automatically fulfill it. You have a choice.
Right. You have to put in the work.
Yes. And so you can
Pounding on my desk. You have to put in the work.
you could get to the end of that path and not fulfill it. It's up to you. And I remember sitting there going, oh my gosh, I got to fulfill this thing. I don't want to get to the end of my life and look back down the path and say, oh, I was supposed to do this or this or this. Like that thought terrified me in a way. It was a wake-up call.
Sure.
So I made a decision in that moment. Whatever it took, I was going to figure this out. I was going to find out what my purpose was, what lights me up, what am I supposed to be doing, what am I meant to do. I will do whatever it takes to find that out, and then I'm going to do it. And so it takes, first of all, that decision to say yes to you, yes to your destiny, yes to your purpose, and then take action, whether it's hiring a coach, hiring Rick, hiring me, taking a course, reading a book. Do what you need to do to figure it out. Don't just give up and say, oh, well, it's too hard, or I don't know what to do. Make a decision, take action, do it, so that you can say at the end of your life, I did it. I fulfilled it. Don't let your song die within you, they say, right? Like,
Right.
that's it. Yeah.
And I'm a composer. I'm not letting my music die in me.
No. And that's why are we here on earth? If it's not to do what we were created to do, with the gifts and the natural talents and all the things that make us who we are, that light us up, that we're passionate about.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not
Well,
now again.
I will tell you this, that back almost 10 years ago, some terrible things happened to us. We were in a bad business situation and we didn't know it. And we got dumped on, and we lost everything because we were stuck with all the bills from the company when the owner ran off and that sort of thing. So it was in 2012.
Wow.
And at that point, I got thoroughly disgusted. And I'm unabashed about saying this, but I was asking God, okay, what is going on? What do I need to do? And that's where the inspiration came from, Jeremiah 29:11. And this is God talking. For I know, he says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you. What?
Yes.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you.
Yes.
Plans to give you hope and a future.
Yes.
Okay, hope and a future. All right, that's the plan. And I thought, oh, okay, well, Christians especially go around moping about, well, I'm not supposed to have money. How are you going to help other people? Money equals choices. So for me, coming up with it was the plan, I had to come up with it for myself. But as I wrote down all of this stuff in the time that I had away from what I was trying to do to just put food on the table. In that time, I realized this could help a lot of people. This could help a lot of people because I've been coaching and counseling people since 1986.
Wow.
That's a long, long time, and hundreds of them. So that's where that came from. I know I have a plan for you. God says I have a plan for you, and that's every single person. You shouldn't opt out.
Right.
You should opt in and figure out what that is. Now,
I love it.
if you need an appendectomy, Miss Janelle, do you go to YouTube and figure out how to do your own appendectomy?
No.
No, you go to a surgeon. Okay. If you get sued for something and it's big time and it's false, do you go to law books and figure out how to represent yourself, or do you hire an attorney?
Yeah.
All right. When you finally get to the point where you express, my life makes a difference. My life is important. My life was preordained. My life is here to be of service. And my life is here to live my best life now. When you finally figure that out, there's Janelle and there's me. Okay? Janelle and Coach Rick. And shoot, I mean, I'm not going to say we've got it down, but we've certainly got a plan. You've got a great plan. You really do. And so do I.
Yes.
So away we go. Oh, lady,
Yes.
this is way too much fun.
Get some help. Yes. There's no shame in that at all. We all got help. I got help to get where I am. I didn't do it by myself.
No. And I do find that when people get disgusted is when they move.
Yeah.
When people
Yep,
get
yep.
disgusted, I don't like this life.
Right.
I don't like being a single mom. I don't like being divorced. I don't like being in this job. I don't like being overlooked for the promotion. I don't like these things. What can I do? What can I do? I can drink. I can do drugs. But those aren't good choices. No. Or can I get some help along the lines of exactly where I need to go? Achieve your dream. It's the theme of this summit. Achieve your dream. But you got to discover it.
Yes.
You got to discover it. And that's where, I mean, I've been listening intently. I adore what you're doing and the programs that you have and the books and all of that. And just your insights, just absolutely fabulous. And I look at people who are so miserable, and I look at people who have no direction in this topsy-turvy nation that we have right now.
Yeah.
It's just, it's amazing. And they need to consult with you, and they need to consult with me.
Yes.
And between the two of us, we can affect a lot of people. Not everybody, but if it's one at a time, or if it's in your group, where I'm going to put on a wig and speak in a high falsetto so I can sit in on it. It's all important.
Yes.
It's all important. Otherwise, you're coasting.
That's right.
You're on autopilot. I get up in the morning. I do these things. I go to work. I do these things. I hate what I do.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to tell you this. The opening sentence, the opening question in Strategy for Destiny, the first two, it's ambition, discover your ambition, motivation, passion, vision, preparation, got to do the work, and then your action, which is your action plan. My opening line is, do you love your life the way it is right now? If not, are you one of millions of people who are in jobs that have nothing to do with their degrees?
Yeah.
And over 70% of them are miserable or actually hate their jobs. And man, if that isn't a crossroads, if that isn't a midlife transition, I don't know what is. So I want you and me right now to just inspire a bunch of people. I don't care if they come to you or if they come to me. I don't care. I just want people to get set free. One of my slogans is free yourself to be yourself.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that's perfect. Yeah.
Closing thoughts, lady. What have you got?
Oh, well, you just said it all right there. Free yourself to be yourself. Be who you are. Nobody else can be who you are.
Right.
You know, what's that quote? Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. And one of my favorite quotes from, I think it's Ralph Emerson. Waldo, what's his name? Ralph?
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Waldo Emerson. I
You had
the
the
name
pieces
mixed
there.
up.
You just didn't put them together.
Anyway, he says, to be yourself in a world that's constantly trying to make you be somebody else
Yes.
is the greatest accomplishment. It really is. And I think that gets a lot of people stuck, is they think, well, I should know this already. No, this is a journey of self-discovery. I think throughout your life is getting to know who you are and becoming who you are. And it is a great accomplishment. So do that, be who
Yeah.
you are and do what you are meant to do. And the rest is all going to take care of itself.
The people
be
need,
confident, be real, be you. That's why I named my course that.
yeah. And I just want to stress that when you are trying to be on this journey all by yourself, it's too hard.
It's too
I'm just going
hard.
to say that it's too hard. And here's another one that
Yeah.
I constantly tell my students. Nobody cares about your dream except you. That's
Mhm.
it. Even your mama.
Yep.
I'll tell them that. You could tell your mama, I'm taking this course. In fact, I tell them in my course, don't tell anybody you're taking this,
Yeah.
because they'll shoot you down.
Yeah.
They'll shoot you down.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're too old, you're too young, you're too tall, you're too short, you're the wrong gender, you're the, all of this stuff. You're the wrong ethnicity. You're the wrong. And who do you think you are, getting above your raisin?
Yeah.
But you know what? They've got a beacon of hope. One of those beacons is directed right at you, and one of those beacons is directed right at me. Yeah.
That's
You know,
right.
we need to be on the same stage sometime.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, and everybody would be jumping up and down. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me. You reminded me of this. I listened to Lisa Nichols a lot. She's an amazing speaker, and I saw her speak one time. It's on a video. You can find it on YouTube. But this one little section, she says, you have to be willing to be the only person that believes in your vision,
Woo.
because it's your vision. Nobody else will get it. But you have to
No.
be willing to be the only person, and you have to be willing to pour into that vision and see it, give birth to it, even if nobody else believes in it, because like you said, nobody else is going to get it. It's your vision. It's not their vision.
Yeah. I tell people that it's your dream. It's not, they can't understand your dream because it's not their dream. They have their own complicated lives to try to navigate through.
Yep.
And those are the people that you and I are going after. Actually, I believe very strongly that for the most part, the people who need us come to us.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can reach out, but for the most part, and I will say this, I believe that everybody is God led, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to follow or not, it's up to you. God gives us that choice. And but boy, when he says, you need to check out Janelle Anderson, you need to check out Rick Stewart, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to read this book, you need to make that phone call, you need to help that person get something off of a high shelf in Walmart because they're in a wheelchair. Just all kinds of things that you can do. You need to call up so-and-so because they need an encouraging word. Haven't talked to them in 12 years. Doesn't make any difference. That little boy says, call them up now. And you do, and that was ordained. That was ordained.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Boy. All
Yeah.
right.
This has been great.
I talk more than I want. Yeah. I talk more than I thought I was going to, but you inspire me, Janelle.
Good. Yay.
You do. Yes, indeed. Okay. Well,
Good.
now you need to do a summit and I'll come on and
I am going to do a summit
Okay.
in sometime next year. So I will definitely have you on mine.
I'll do 60% of the talking. You do 40%.
Okay.
All righty. Well, I think we're about done here. I've gone through
Okay.
my questions and you have ably answered all of them. I'm so amazed. I love your story. And I love the fact that you're in it to win it. And that your people are going to win. Your
Yes.
people are going to win. My people are going to win.
That's
gonna
right.
win.
That's right.
But
That's right.
because
We're all winners.
We're not pitting ourselves against the world. We're actually pitting ourselves against how we view ourselves, which is
Yes.
wrong. in so
Right.
many cases. Yeah, you love your neighbor as you love yourself. You
Yes.
got to love yourself, and that's not
Yes.
weird. That's not
Yeah.
weird. That's looking
No.
in the mirror, like you said, and saying, "I'm worthy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay. I have something to contribute to life."
Yes.
Yes.
Give yourself permission to be you.
Oh, and on that, we can close out.
There you
Okay.
go.
Thank you so much,
You're welcome. Thank you.
and bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody, and I am so pleased and honored to have the opportunity to introduce you to your very own host of this extraordinary event that I know you have found so much information and value within. So finally, let me share with you a little bit about our host with the most, Coach Rick, the host, creator, and producer of the Achieve Your Dream Summit. Rick Stewart is an author, composer, and creator of Strategy for Destiny, a personal development online course that answers the elusive question, what were you born to do? For over 35 years, his coaching career has provided direction to frustrated people, many of whom are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, who are at a crossroads experiencing midlife transitions. Strategy for Destiny guides them into discovering their passion, their vision, and their dream. Then they create their unique action plan to finally make it happen. And so now I get to turn the tables and ask Coach Rick, what were you born to do?
Thank you, Susie. You're amazing. I so enjoyed interviewing you, as I'm sure our audience will see that and agree with me. So now it's my turn. I put on the red shirt today so that I'd stand out a little bit more. And when you get to be my age, standing out isn't quite as important. But what I was born to do, I started out, everything was music and drama. Everything was music and drama. The very first musical that I was ever in was second grade, and it was the classical composer Engelbert Humperdinck, not the pop guy, but his Hansel and Gretel. And oh my gosh, it had really difficult solos and duets in it. But they found a little girl. I think it was like first through fourth graders. I was in second grade. They found a little gal who could sing the duets with me and could we could bounce off of each other, and we put it on, and it was a smash hit in our little town in Virginia. And then I was hooked. So that went from there, moved to Missoula, Montana, where my sister and I were part of a pool of actors and singers. We sang with the high school productions. They knew who we were. We sang with the university productions. And so we grew up right in the middle of everything, singing and acting and dancing, and dancing was not my forte. But anyway, I was little and cute, and so they liked me. I'm now much larger and not necessarily as cute, but I'm still singing and I'm still doing the musical stuff. But that's how it all started. My band that I put together during the Vietnam War, I was in the first draft for in 1969, and one of my music teachers, I was just new in college in music, vocal performance, and he said, I don't really want you to get shot up, Rick, so I'm going to introduce you to the guy who's in charge of USO shows for the Department of Defense. I thought, okay, I wonder what that means. But ended up making a very long story very short. We ended up putting together a band that became one of their top bands, if not their top band out of 800 that were entertaining troops. We went in and did the small stuff. Bob Hope did the big things. Okay, we did the small stuff in the jungles, above the Arctic Circle, sweating in Laos and Cambodia and Thailand, and then all over the map and all over Europe, that sort of thing. So I went back to school, got my degree in vocal music and in theory, and wrote jingles for a number of years. But those are just little songs. They're not as satisfying as big songs. So I've always been in music. We moved to Nashville for business reasons, but I discovered, hey, this backup singer stuff and doing overdubs and all that and singing on recordings with people, Nashville icons and a lot of Christian artists. This was falling off a log for me. So I did that. I've done that off and on for a number of years, mostly in the 80s and 90s. So that I know that really dates me, but it's okay. So always had the music there, but then to make everything meet, like food on the table and things like that, and gas in your car, which has become a real challenge nowadays. I was part of some business ventures, and I eventually ended up being inspired by the leadership at a church here in town that we attended, and I became an ordained minister. And I was on staff there in pastoral care. Well, guess what I got? I got all the counseling one. I got all the tough people. And so for over 35 years now, as you said in the intro, I've been counseling / coaching people in and out of life-threatening, life-changing situations. And I'll admit, I've gotten good at it. I really have. I've had people coming to me for so many years, and it became something that I got upset. I got upset with people who didn't know what they wanted to do with their lives. They didn't know what their dream was. They didn't know they had a destiny. And I told them that there is a scripture that says, it's Jeremiah 29:11, that says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you. What does that mean? Like make money? Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. That's for everybody. And I just got mad at the gurus, because I was looking at that time. I had done some crazy things just to put food on the table. And I was tired of that. So I watched webinars. I watched these motivational gurus say, discover your dream, fulfill your destiny. And I thought, what is my dream? Do I even have a destiny? And I got mad because they would say, well, you're on your own. Now I've got you all pumped up, got this course that you're going to put on your shelf with all the other courses, all the other books, all the other workbooks, all that stuff. You're never going to look at it again, and you're never going to get to what you were born to do. So I got this little nudge, Rick, start writing. And I did. And year 2 later, Strategy for Destiny, What Were You Born to Do, became a book. And then people got to talking to me. I got to talking to people like Dave Ramsey, who is the financial guru, who is a longtime friend of mine. And it was, Rick, you need to do a course so you can get to more people. So that's my purpose, but my passion is still music. Okay, but you see how that goes together? See how that goes together? So gone through all these stages and everything, and getting there, I'm now to the point where I'm doing my first summit. And my tech guy happens to be my son, which saves a lot of time and a lot of money. And he's really good at it. So those of you who are watching, you are the recipients of some of my son's diligent work to make sure that this is something easy for you and something that you can navigate and listen to and watch people like Susie, who is just delightful on her interview. So there you have it. Next question.
Well, and I think it really stands out that your message has been you're just driven the way for so long, and I appreciate that you followed that path. And so you've given us a little bit of an idea of what you did to get there, to get to this place of discovering what you were born to do. Is there anything else there along that path, along that journey, besides tuning into your heart, really tuning into that dream and that message?
Getting to the point, I haven't said this on any interviews before, but I'm going to say this on this one. It's getting to the point where I was so far down that I was not the one who was going to bootstrap and pull myself back up. I had to depend on God. That is not in my nature. My nature is if it's going to be, I have to do it. I have to do it. If it's going to work, I'm the guy. I'm going to make it happen. All the details, all the structure, everything is up to me. And I've learned to live with that. But as I've gotten to know stories in the Bible, King David, Jonah, Joseph, Moses, they all got to the point where it was just them and God. And then right after that, David becomes king. After everything is destroyed in his hometown or his town of Ziklag, and his men are turning on him. And he says, wait, let me inquire of God one more time. And God says, go and recover all. So they did. They followed him one more time. They were mad as all get out at David. And they followed him one more time. And it was right then, after that, that people came to him and said, would you mind becoming our king? Oh, okay, sure. Let me think about it. No, I'm good. Yeah. And all of these stories about how people just got Joseph in prison, wrongly accused. And he's in prison, and one day he's asked to come out of prison, get cleaned up. I'm sure he smelled bad, looked bad, had a long beard and everything. They cleaned him up, brought him before Pharaoh, and Pharaoh said, I've had these dreams. I hear you interpret dreams. David interpreted the dreams, and Pharaoh put him in charge of everything. He was now the most powerful man other than Pharaoh in the whole world. One day changed everything. But they had to get to the bottom. They had to get to the bottom and trust. So my trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Okay, that sounds really good. A nice little song, Sunday school, VBS, all that stuff. But boy, is that one tough to live. And it is just tough to live when you do have a brain. If I only had a brain. Yes, but I do have a brain. And putting everything together to get to this point, I am so excited about basically through this summit, basically launching Strategy for Destiny. This is what I was born to do. I've got another book, another slant on things that I'm going to pursue as soon as this is up and running. And I'm extremely excited with where I am now. I'm tired of being at the bottom of the well. I really am. And this is going to do it. Like I said, I feel like very strongly like getting to this point in my development, in my evolution, if you will, as a human being. And who is spirit, soul, and body, that it's coming together. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
It is coming together. And I really see a history of doing the work, of being open to the opportunities, and of letting faith guide you to be there to receive the next step that's ready for you. So I would love to hear a little bit more next. And I think we've already explored it a bit, but I know there's so much more. I know your heart and your passion and your vision is so big. I'm so excited to see what's coming down the line next. How do you see your business fitting into your dream?
Okay, that's really pretty easy, because a business has a financial side to it. It always does. Otherwise, it's a charity. So a business has a financial side to it. All right, that financial side is finally becoming available through the dissemination of this course, because it's a beautiful ebook. The ebook looks better than the book. A beautiful ebook, an audio book, and video modules, and all that. It's all right there, and people can. The beta testing was so cool. Really drastically changed some people's lives. And that warms the cockles of my heart. So The business entering into my dream, I have done some figuring over the years. The rock opera will take about 100 grand to make happen with the people I want to do orchestrations, to do the choral arranging, the orchestra that I want, the choir that I want. I'm the narrator, so I'm cheap. But how does that dream come to fruition? The dream has a price tag. Okay. So I tell people, don't be afraid to do something that makes money, because it's the love of money that is the root of evil, all evil, the love of money. If money has you rather than you having money, you're in trouble. But money equals choices, choices for helping other people, choices for funding a rock opera that a lot of people will listen to and love and maybe be touched by. Finances to get more outlets for Strategy for Destiny. And if you will, to hire, hopefully, I'm thinking ahead, to hire coaches to come in and do the masterminds once a week with, say, a group of 50 or a group of 100. And we got these all over the place. And there are people who are becoming financially better off being one of my coaches. So it gets down to the business of using money to make the right things happen at the right times for the right reasons with the right results. And that's what I'm all about. I'm so old that I recognize and am willing to react to that still small voice in the back of my head, that because God doesn't shout, he doesn't need to, but that still small voice that says, okay, you need to do this. All right, now you need to put this in the book, or I've got this for you, and I want you to do that. I want you to contact this person. I want you to talk to this person. I want you to ask I want you to ask Susie Vine to interview you. And that was an easy one. A lot of them are tougher. And like moving from Missoula, Montana to Nashville, Tennessee back in 1981. That was a tougher decision. And it turned out to be a good one. Both of our kids were born here. My son is doing exactly what he was born to do in music. My daughter in film and TV is doing exactly what she was born to do. And you know why? They have Coach Rick as their dad. And I have guided them into what they need to do and how they need to learn their craft and all of that. Case in point, TJ didn't need to go to music school. He didn't need to. He didn't need to take all these extraneous classes and learn about the mating habits of whales. You know, he just didn't need that. But he needed theory. He needed vocal training, although he has a gorgeous voice just all on his own. He needed to learn about production, since I had written and produced jingles for a number of years. And he has become, I hate to say this, but he's become better than I ever was in all of those categories, especially in the guitar playing and the songwriting. He's exceptional. So, business is necessary. Why? I've had people say, Rick, you're in ministry. You can't charge people for Strategy for Destiny. You have to give it away. Say, no, that's BS. I'm not giving it away. No, I'm not. In fact, I'm gonna support my family. I'm gonna support other people. I'm gonna help out those in my family. I've got several of them who need help. I just haven't been able to do it yet. Okay, I'm a philanthropist who currently doesn't have money. Okay, that's me. Yay! So that's the business end, and it's getting there. It's getting to the point where it's going to work.
And I love the point that you made, and I just want to come back to that. And I think it's the secret to the success you see blooming in your children's careers is learning to listen for the whisper and not hold out for that shout.
Yeah. because the
It's
shout
probably
comes
coming from the wrong source.
yes, shout comes from people. The whispered voice comes from God, just plain and simple. It does. Now, there are entities out there that are the enemies of God and the enemies of us. And you can call them whatever you want. I call them demonic forces. Okay. And they'll whisper things too, but you have to learn which voice is which. And it's like, that doesn't sound right. And so you don't do that. And then guess what? God comes back in and says, congratulations, Susie. You passed that. You didn't go the wrong route there. There's a scripture that says, and you will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Whenever you turn to the right hand or whenever you turn to the left. That is always, always, always happening. That voice is there. The direction is there. It's just whether or not we choose to follow what we know in our knower is right at that very moment. And we're not afraid to make a fool out of ourselves. We're not afraid of that. Well, what will people think? What will people say? I've had that happen before where I was told to talk to somebody and it turned into, okay, Rick, I want you to pray for them. They've got this wrong with them and you need to pray for them and I'll heal them. I'm going, okay, yeah, but what if they're not healed? But what if they are? Oh, I never thought of that. And yeah, a lot of them. I won't go into that right now. And there are people listening to this and probably don't even want to hear that. But there have been a lot of people in my wife's and my life who are the direct recipients of somebody obeying, somebody praying, somebody declaring, and dramatically and positively affecting other people's lives. So we're always being told, do this, call this person, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. We're constantly being told that. It's whether or not we've numbed ourselves to that because we think, well, that couldn't possibly be God. Okay, I'll give you one of my precepts that I think is so true. Our greatest enemy is not Satan. It's not death. It's not sin. It's not hell. It's not the grave. It's not fear. Our greatest enemy is reason. We reason our way right out of God. We say, well, that couldn't possibly be God. Since when, if you read Bible stories, since when did anything that God told anybody to do make any sense at all until after the fact? 2020 hindsight. It doesn't. No. So you got to roll with it, baby. Just have to roll with it and know that, okay, I'll do it. Has everybody been healed that I have prayed for? No. Are there sometimes extenuating circumstances? I'll give you one. Are you ready? Young lady on crutches every Sunday at the mega church, every Sunday hobbling up to get prayed for. She would always request Molly and me. Molly is my wife. Always request Molly and me. And we would pray for her to be healed and nothing happened. Finally, I said, are there any roadblocks here? We've been praying for you for like 4 months. What's going on? She said, oh, well, my court date about the accident comes up here in a couple of weeks. And after that, and after I get my settlement, then I want to be healed. I had to leave that one to Molly. I was there was steam coming out of my ears on that one. I had to just walk away and Molly just handled her. And I don't recall if we ever prayed for her again. I don't know. Maybe she went to a different church after that. But lots of stories like that. Anyway, okay. Anything else? Can I talk about my free gift?
I would love to hear about your free gift.
Okay, okay.
I know everybody else is dying to hear about it too.
Well, you have actually you actually partook. Is that a word? You have partaken in the ebook and the masterclass. You have actually read through and you have seen what my son and I put together. And as I recall, you liked it. So this is
loved
the
it.
description. Okay. My ebook, 7 Easy Steps to Reach Your Dream Target, plus a bonus power packed masterclass. That's an important one. Entitled Your Dream Needs a Plan, will give you the right tools to create a realistic, doable action plan that will lead you to the life you know you want and deserve. And I say deserve because God only wants the best for us. And there are horrible people and horrible situations out there that will drag you down, attempt to destroy you, and maybe even destroy you. But the crux of the matter is that there is a plan, and you do deserve. Are we worthy? No, come on, I'm not worthy. I have done so many things wrong, the wrong times with the wrong people, all of that stuff. But it doesn't bother God. He forgives me. So when I say the plan, the life that you deserve, I mean that. I mean that, the life that you deserve. And my course is full of that, letting you know that you have great value, letting you know those things. And what I really want people to do is I want them to go to strategyfordestiny.com. All right, it'll be on the website. But go to strategyfordestiny.com, and right on the front on the home page is the book, 7 Easy Steps to Reach Your Dream Target. Okay, sign up for that. And when you get that, then the book will say, this is it. It will just bam, be right there on your phone or your laptop or your iPad, whatever. And then you scroll down to the bottom, and there is the bonus masterclass. That's what I want you to watch. That's all about you. That's all about your life. That's all about your challenges. That's all about your mistakes. That's all about the things that have plagued you all your life. That's all about the toxic people. That's all about getting through all of that, putting all of that behind you, and creating a better life. That's what it's all about. And in that masterclass, Your Dream Needs a Plan, it's all there. It's only 35 minutes. I don't believe in a bunch of just rhetoric and oh, look at me and listen to me, and I'm in a rented villa on the Florida coast, and I'm making it look like it's mine, and then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to get into a Lamborghini that I also rented to look really good and to make you think, boy, I sure want to do business with him. I sure want to learn something from him. Poppycock. No, I live in a modest home in Nashville, Tennessee, with a fabulous family and some amazing friends like Susie Vine. So get the ebook, watch the masterclass, and then you'll know, because that still small voice will say, take this course or you don't need that. But don't put off for another 2 years, another 5 years, another 10 years, because you might just be doing the same thing you're doing right now, especially if you don't like what you're doing right now. The very first question in the course, in the first lesson is, do you love your life the way it is right now? Or are you one of millions who would say, no, I don't? Then maybe, just maybe, it's time to do something about it. And I asked the question in the lesson on passion. If money and time, now listen up, if money and time were no object, and you knew you couldn't fail, nothing and no one, and I stress no one, nothing and no one could stop you, what would you do? What would the rest of your life look like? And here's the tough one. What are you willing to do to get there, to make it happen, to grab the tools in Strategy for Destiny, create your action plan? I'm not going to do it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you, because nobody cares about your dream as much as you do. In fact, I would say nobody cares about your dream except you. And if you don't do something about it, never going to happen. And that sea of regret is a horrible place to tread water in for a lifetime. It's regret is debilitating and very destructive. So move on, get ahead. If it involves my course, that's great. If it doesn't, figure it out, because you need to be and do more than where you are in your life right now.
And if you think you have a handle on what is inside of this masterclass and ebook, this is only the tip of the iceberg. You ask such powerful questions inside of there. It's such important food for thought. So
well, that's the thing about being a teacher. I'm a teacher. You know, I don't like the business end of this at all. I just don't like it. I like doing this. I like talking to you. I loved interviewing you and all of the other speakers. My goodness. But I really want to just teach. And when you do teaching correctly, you don't just ask questions. You ask the right questions at the right time. And then you get the right results. And that's what this course is all about, is the right questions. And then there'll be tears. There'll be laughter. There'll be ahas. There'll be, oh, I don't know about that. I don't like that at all. But it's going to be truth. It's going to be truth, and it's going to affect you. Spirit, soul, and body. It's going to affect you when you go through this course. You'll get a feel for it when you watch the masterclass of what the course is about. And I do give an outline, if you will, in the ebook that leads you up to the course and up to your action plan. Now, I'll tell you about, okay, future. I'm always thinking future. Let's say that you do know what your destiny is, okay? You've got it figured out. 7 easy steps to get to reach your dream target. You've got your destiny in hand. What are you going to do with it? You need to plug it in to your present life. So I'm working on a follow-up course, which is Destiny Plan. Doesn't that make sense? Okay, so what are you doing right now? How does this fit into what you're doing now? The reality, okay? The destiny is not, by the time you get done with the action plan, the destiny is not pie in the sky. It's not anymore. It's reality. And you've got that. And there are such people as Chris Smith and his wife, Susie, who have a course called Career Niche or Career Niche, whichever you want to do. They're in Canada, and people are going to bring their destiny, a la Strategy for Destiny, What Were You Born to Do, are going to bring their destiny after working with me to Chris and Susie, and they're going to say, oh, okay, your destiny is this. Well, here's what we have on a local scale, regional, national scale for you to plug into, and we'll teach you how to do that, where to go, what to say, how to do it, get the right results, and bam, you are on your way to a new you, to a better life, the life you've always wanted. And here we go again, the life that you deserve. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Susie has stuff you need to learn. Okay, if you haven't seen her video, her interview, you have to see her interview. It's one of the most intelligent people I have ever met in my life. There's sometimes I just have to stop and say, okay, you just said a lot of words. Now, will you please explain that to me? Now, I'm a fairly intelligent person, but I think she's kind of over the top. But she's nice about it. You know, she doesn't tell you. She doesn't say, Rick, you really need to work on comprehending what I'm saying. No, she's not mean about it. She just says, okay, I'll help you understand that. Yes. All right. Anything else? We have been 33 minutes. We're doing fine, because I like these to be 35 to 40. Actually, you're supposed to be telling me that, but I'm overstepping my bounds here. Yeah,
it's a collaborative effort.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have this opportunity to dig in and learn from everyone you're gathering together. Every name that I see on this bill that I have the privilege of sharing, I'm more excited about the tools that you have collected for this material. I hope everyone is taking full advantage of everything that you've brought together. This is such a powerful experience that you've created.
And also, you need to, I'm going to tell you, okay, on the business end, okay, I said I don't like this a lot, but on the business end, you need to do the VIP upgrade. I'll tell you after every one of these interviews, you just do. You need access, not just one time listening to Susie and me. Okay, you need, possibly again, but you need Susie's free gifts. You need my free gifts. You need the premium gifts. Oh my gosh, there are, Susie, I tried to add up just the value of the gifts. It's thousands of dollars. And so people need to do this premium upgrade so that you have access for life to these videos and to these gifts. I mean, there are marvelous. Case in point, Wendy Hatton. She's very unassuming. She doesn't know how incredibly knowledgeable and intelligent she is. It was interesting interviewing her because she was laid back and all this. She is a LinkedIn expert. I'm tapping my feet on that one. She's an expert on LinkedIn. Don't we all need to know, whether we have a business or not, don't we need to know how to set up the profile perfectly, how to line up these things and these things, what people are looking for, what they're listening for, everything. She's giving away the course. She's giving it away. It just amazes me. I said, don't you want to like charge 50% or something? Said, no. Okay. Do you need to? I need to really update and maybe do some business on LinkedIn. Yeah. Wouldn't that be? Cause I don't know anything about LinkedIn. I don't. And I can't wait to get her stuff and all that. But in order to do that, and the things that other people tell you are teaching you, it's falling off a log for them. Some of them are multimillionaires. Are they doing things with their money? Yeah. Rennie Gabriel, wait till you hear him. He gives away to charities everything he makes from his book and his courses. Gives it away. And yet he's got a really nice home. I think isn't he in California? I think he's in California, Rennie Gabriel. Yeah. So people like that, you have access to now. Don't wait. And then like, gosh, I wish I could see that again. Because maybe you're not attending all of these because of work, because of other obligations. Maybe you're not seeing them all. Maybe you, out of however many I have, around 20, something like that. You can't watch maybe but 2 or 3 or 4, or maybe not even that. That's why. Wouldn't you agree, Susie? Isn't that why they need that upgrade, so that they have access to the whole thing forever and ever? Amen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, there's so many. I mean, you've got Denise Thomas has gifts not only for our audience, but the next generation, and paving the way towards their fullest potential. And
Yes.
I love the work of Lee Atherton and resilience during our hardest and heaviest times. And the list is just phenomenal of what you've cultivated and put together, and to be able to use it when you need it. Even,
Yes.
if you listen to it all, if you pull all-nighters and consume this as Coach Rick is putting it out, there's going to be a day when you wish you could go back and hear that again. And this is such a powerful opportunity and a gift that you've created.
Yep. I agree. I do. All righty. I guess we're done. Are we done?
If you feel complete, I'm so excited about what you shared today. I love this opportunity. Thank you for sharing your heart, your mission, your service, your light. It's always a joy to spend time with you.
Okay, so I can say, Rick, your summit is complete. That wasn't too bad. I do a lot better impressions than that. I really haven't tried to do Darth Vader. but the summit is complete. I'm the last person being interviewed here by the lovely Susie Vine.
And we can take our bows.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You'll hear more about
pulling the curtain.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hate to cut this off, but we need to. So we are going to say sayonara for right now. Goodbye. And be sure to watch the rest of these. Be sure to upgrade. And I know you're going to learn a lot if you want to. Okay? If you want to. And bye for now. That's it. 4 jam-packed days of the Achieve Your Dream Summit. 20 expert speakers, plenty of must-have free gifts from all of our speakers, plus some over-the-top premium gifts that can dramatically improve your life. Now, this is the last time you'll hear me warn you. If you were unable to attend all 4 days, then the smart way to always be able to watch any of our speakers anytime is to sign up for the VIP upgrade. Once again, you get all of their videos, their free gifts, and the very generous premium gifts. So, as always, I urge you to consider upgrading to VIP before access goes away forever. My final thought, here's to you, your dream, your plan, your future, and everything it will take for you to actually, finally achieve your dream. You want it, you deserve it. Always remember this important truth. Only you can make it happen. Your best life is waiting for you.